Here in week 3 of this Friday Night Lights season, as the Horizon Huskies, who are sitting at 2-0 so far in the season, are taking on the Kellis Cougars, who are also sitting 2-0 on this season. Quentin, I'm gonna go straight to you. Two dynamic rushing attacks against two pretty solid defenses who haven't allowed very many points so far this year. What do you think this game's gonna go like this tonight?
Chris, I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I mean, the Horizon offense is very lethal, passing and rushing. They're able to attack on all levels of the field. The Kellis Cougars are going to be interesting. They've had a lot of dominance on the rushing aspects of the game, but their quarterback has struggled a little bit. I think that's an area where Horizon can maybe separate this match going forward into the quarters, but their defenses are both solid, like you said, so it is going to be a grudge match in this first quarter.
Absolutely, and you pointed out that Kellis's quarterback has been struggling. That as far as our game last week, as we have the stats up here on the board, the Horizon Huskies, although they had a dominant 52-0 victory over Mountain View Morena last week, Coach Tyson Ditmore really stated that his offensive performance last week was mediocre. So he said post game. As you can see, the stats across the board, the completion percentage really jumps out to me as Kellis sits at 36.8% to your point, Quentin, as Horizon sticks at a 60 flat percentage led by quarterback Jace Ashley, with 14.3 yards per completion for Horizon in favor of Kellis's 10.9. And the rushing attacks on both sides are definitely the leading drive for both offenses, of course, as Horizon's led by Bodie Zamorano and Kellis is led by Tristan Bacon. 11.3 yards per carry stands out to me as far as Kellis goes, with 7.7 yards for Horizon. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's phenomenal stats they're putting up. I think what's really interesting about this Kellis Cougar defense is they have a lot of players playing on offense and playing on the defensive side. Like you said, Tristan Bacon, wide receiver, running back, who's getting rushing yards. He's also playing linebacker. He had 8 tackles against the game against Peoria with his 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's a very Swiss Army knife type of player, as well as Jason Estrada. He's a wide receiver and a cornerback. He had 14 tackles against Peoria. So what Horizon's going to want to do is if they're able to tire out their starters, they're going to have to see Kellis go deep into their lineup.
Definitely going to be a true test to Kellis's conditioning so far as this game goes down. Horizon has really been playing pretty sound football between the past few weeks. With week 1, a 48-8 victory over Canyon View. Pretty much their only hiccup was a high snap that led to a safety on a punt unit. But their special teams came back and really stole the show in their game last week against Mountain View Morena. Pretty much giving themselves really good field position as we're getting ready for the national anthem here in this game. But Horizons really played really sound, and I'm really looking forward to what their offense has to do.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a spectacular night, Chris, here in the desert. I mean, it's looking beautiful. Look at the skyline, right? Just the blue skies and the mountains as the national anthem will play.
And our field correspondent, Julia Coyne, was able to catch up with Coach Tyson Ditmore prior to the game, so we're going to cut to that.
I'm Julia Coyne here with the Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with head coach of the Horizon Huskies, Coach Ditmore. You are both going into this game 2-0. What are your expectations for this game?
Well, I think, one of the messages for our boys this week was we need to embrace every opportunity that we get. Kellis has a great team. Coach Kulis has done a great job the last 4 years, and we need to embrace the opportunity and come out and put something together.
You guys have done really well these last 2 games. What has been the driving factor for this?
These kids, they show up every day. They're hungry. They show up to practice, and their effort is phenomenal. They come out and they want to be here every single day. That's what's driving us.
Your defense and special teams did a great job last week. How do you plan on continuing this against Kellis's offense?
Well, I think defensively, we just need to be sharp and continue to focus on our keys. And special teams is really for us just a pride thing. Guys wanting to come out and execute and having fun. It's an emphasis for us every week.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Yep.
I'm Julia Coyne with the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello everyone, my name is Roberto Astorga. I'm a junior at the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU and excited to be part of the Varsity Sports Show. I love watching and covering every sport from golf to volleyball. Having lived my entire life in Arizona, I look forward to cover stories and games highlighting the great athletes and people this state has to offer.
Hey everybody, my name is Olivia Prickett. I'm a sophomore at Arizona State University studying sports journalism, and I'm excited to intern for the Varsity Sports Show this fall. As a longtime sports fan, former athlete, and aspiring sideline reporter, I look forward to covering tons of sports around Arizona and providing important news going on in the sports world. Stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Carmona, and I'm very excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Show team as their Gainesville correspondent. I am a third-year sports media major at the University of Florida, and my dream is to become a sports broadcaster and radio host. I can't wait to provide you all with the best content and news surrounding Gainesville sports.
And we are back here with the Varsity Sports Show. Once again, I am Christopher Zavios, and this is Quentin Presley, my colleague here. Quentin, do you have any ideas on what the defensive landscape is going to look like in this game here tonight?
You know, it's going to be very interesting. Both teams are very aware that they're hot, right? Both of their offenses are hot. Horizon hasn't even let up a touchdown. They've let up a few field goals, and like you said, that safety. So I think what the defenses are going to want to do is they're definitely want to slow up that running game, really make them throw the ball. Horizon's got that in their arsenal, but you'd rather get beat by their worst weapon. So it's going to be interesting to see what Kellis gives them as a defense, and likewise for the Huskies.
Absolutely, and one thing that stood out to me as far as Horizon's offense goes, you know, as I said earlier, Coach Ditmore wasn't too satisfied with their offensive display last week, but they really adapted in Week 1 against Canyon View. They really adapted this kind of quick game style as we throw it to the field here as the captains are getting ready to take the field, and one of them is number 0, or our colleague Mason Byers likes to call him Agent Zero. Senior, he's a Colorado State commit. Last week, 11 total tackles with 9 solos, and he had 1 sack in that game. One thing that really stood out to me as far as his play went, you said earlier, Kellis has a lot of two-way players. Well, Jackson Murray, he was in on a couple red zone packages as an extra blocker, and I thought he was just an extra like offensive lineman. But when I caught up with Coach Ditmore at the end of the game, he said he threw him in as a tight end, and he actually ran a route to what I forgot in the game last week. So pretty dynamic player having a nose guard run the tight end on the low.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I bet that was super exciting. I mean, just like that, I mean, Horizons, they got a great coach, right? They can do that sort of things when they have that deep of a lineup.
Absolutely, and to my point earlier too, what I want to see from Horizon's offense is they adapted a lot of that quick game in Week 1, as I said. A lot of quick throws, quick reads from Jace Ashley, really got him comfortable. Last week he didn't really seem as comfortable as he was in Week 1, but they established some sort of rhythm until he threw a late interception in the game. But that's what I want to see early. Establish the run game and maybe establish a little bit more of that quick game that I thought was really well executed in Week 1.
Oh, most definitely. You're completely right. I mean, something special about Jace Ashley is not only yeah, he had that interception. He could put it in the air, but he can also put it on the field. He can run himself, and he has 3 rushing touchdowns for 82 rushing yards, which is very impressive as a senior quarterback.
Yeah, very impressive. He definitely has the trust of his head coach Ditmore here, and that the rushing attack he does bring something to the table as far as that aspect of the game goes, and top running back Bodie Zamorano too. He's really the kid's really a stud. If the only other way that I can put it, he had 4 rushing touchdowns in Week 1, and he was running all over the place last week, and even his second string guy, Johnny Issett, he's a hard runner. He got in a little bit last week in garbage time, but a lot of hard runners on this Horizon offense, and the physicality as far as the trenches goes was really established. And although it was kind of lacking at some points, to Coach Ditmore's point last week, they play physical and they play fast, and I'm excited to see what Horizon has to do coming into this game with a fairly solid opponent who's only allowed a touchdown in the first 2 games this year.
Totally. I mean, when you have 2 teams that are undefeated on a Friday night, it doesn't get better than this, right? One team's going to fall, and one team's going to go into Week 4 undefeated. So we're going to see who that is I mean, it's home field. You have that advantage. The stadium is so lively right now. It's packed. I could barely get a parking spot earlier. Was late to the rundown because of how many people want to come watch their Huskies play.
Absolutely, and it's nothing really can top the ambiance on a Friday night, huh? One thing that always gets me going, ironically enough, is the kettle corn smell. It takes me back to my time in high school, going back to high school ball. But it looks like Horizon's offense is going to take the field to start off as we get to see that Kellis defense early on.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see. The first play obviously coming. Another key factor, which I thought was very interesting, was Palmer Podwicka, the kicker, the junior kicker for Horizon Huskies. He's leading the league, not leading the league, but he is a stat leader. He's ninth for most points as a kicker, and he's sixth for most field goals made.
One of a three-headed monster as the kick is up and it's a little bit of a squib. Horizon has three kickers, and they utilize all three as the return is going to cross the 40-yard line, and that's going to be a fair starting point for this Horizon offense led by senior quarterback Jace Ashley. What do you think we're going to see early on here, Quentin?
Just like that, I mean, already that kick return is something that Kellis does very well. David Bedoya, he didn't return that one. However, he is sixth in the league with 17 yards a game of returning. So he's going to be out there. He's going to be looking to cut up those sidelines and really get some yardage for the Kellis Cougars.
And looks like we have a stoppage as we're getting ready to get going. I'm interested to see if we get to see some quick game, but mostly I'm expecting we're going to see some Bodie Zamorano action to get this game started as we have a jet motion to the over top side of the field. 3-by-1 set, and he's going to hand it off to his running back, Zamorano, as expected, and he's going to get a modest gain of about 6 yards crossing the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it's already good to see. Yeah, Zamorano got a few yards there, about at the 45, you'd say, and they're to probably continue to look to him again.
Yeah, been a little bit to that testament of their fast game. Some programs like to call it NASCAR as we get another jet motion for a 3-by-1 set. And the pistol is he's going to work a play action. He's going to throw it over top, and that's going to be just off of his hands, incomplete, intended for his receiver, Jacob Garrod.
Wow, yeah, man, that was really interesting play. I feel like Garrod almost could have got there and took that one to the house.
Yeah, just a little bit too much mustard from Ashley on that throw. Again, a true testament on that throw to that quick game that they established. Some programs like to call it NASCAR, as I said, but already they're set as they have a 3-by-1 set with a wing with their tight end lined up as a wing. And it's going to be a handoff to the running back Zamorano, who has an open, getting the first down and gashing through the Kellis defense across the 45-yard line for a first down.
Man, Chris, another down, another dollar. Like, just keep giving your man the ball and see what he can produce. At the end of the day, that's another first down, and the Horizon Huskies are looking to score in this possession.
And we're coming back into an empty set, 3-by-2, 2 underneath, 3 over top, as Ashley's going to take the snap, and it looks like to be a double stick, and that ball was picked off.
Interception, number 13.
Off throw, and that is number 13, Jason Estrada, a two-way player who is listed as a wide receiver as well as a corner. And an early turnover for the Horizon Huskies as Ashley was just a little off target on that stick route.
Now that's back-to-back games now with Ashley picking up an interception. I'm curious to see what he does moving forward. What a great catch by Estrada.
Great catch, great play there defensively to be sound. Off throw looked to be a little low on that double stick play, but I'm curious to see what this Kellis offense has for us here tonight against this Horizon defense that likes to bring a lot of pressure, and they like to bring a lot of stunts up front.
Now, when you're going against a really run-heavy team, what's your mindset really looking as a defensive perspective?
You really like to see a lot of teams stack the box, which is really filling up the box with defensive linemen and linebackers, as it looks like we're going to come out as a 3-front. But Horizon does like to switch up their fronts and add a couple guys and drop a lot of backers as we get the snap here. And it's going to be a play action to Ronald Cody III. And RC3 is going to get no gain as he bounces outside. What did you think of that play there, Quentin?
I mean, like you said, I think they stacked the box and they moved well going to the sideline. They saw the blockers adjusting toward the sideline, and they read it well.
Absolutely. Very nice job working the run fits there by Horizon, led by their nose guard, number 0 or Agent 0, Jackson Murray, the Colorado State commit, who has a big game tomorrow night against Colorado. Very curious to see what the response is going to be here by Kellis as they come out with a 3x1 set. And they're going to bring pressure with number 4, Bo Caliendo, who also likes to come off the edge, as it's going to be a quick throw for a big gain of probably about 9 yards there for Kellis.
Yeah, I mean, already that Ronald Cody sat in the pocket there for a quick second. Ronald Cody sat in there for a quick second. It picked up a first down. Really nice catch and a quick route for the Cougars.
Absolutely, as looks like it's going to be a fast operation here for 3rd and 2 for the Kellis Cougars, as it looks like they're going to have 3 underneath and 1 over top to the strong side. It's going to be over top. RC3, the quarterback, lined up in shotgun. And it's going to be a high snap. Looks to be a quarterback draw, and he's going to be stuffed. And guess who? Jackson Murray on the stop, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and a loss. What a stand there in response to that interception by the Horizon defense.
Yeah, wow, that was a really great possession there from Horizon. Kind of sucks that when you get a high snap like that, it really ruins the possession. I mean, you have to be, as a snapper, put it right there on the money for your quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. My brother is a center, and he's played center for quite a few years, and that's definitely a focal point between him and the quarterback. Always want to establish that center snap relationship with the quarterback as we're getting ready for a punt here. And it looks to be Adem Wagner here for the return for the Horizon Huskies.
Wagner, a senior for Horizon. He's been a stud his whole career. It's going to be really interesting if he has some to do tonight.
And it's going to be off, and it's going to be a long punt. Fair catch all the way to the 11-yard line. What a punt there for Kellis from pinning back the Horizon offense as Jace Ashley looks to bounce back from that interception.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you said, it was a really good punt because you put it before the 20-yard line, and to have to force a great offensive team like the Huskies to have to push down the field for a whole drive, that's a tough testament. We'll see how Horizon responds.
And as Horizon's offense looks to take the field as they bounce back from that interception, looks like they're going to go back to that pistol formation with 2 underneath and a wing and their tight end lined up as a wing over top, and it's going to be a handoff to Zamorano for a modest gain.
Yeah, we could tell pretty quickly that Zamorano is going to be getting a lot of carries this game.
And I got to say, I can really admire the helmet. That's a Rydell Axiom that Zamorano is rocking. Definitely a new wave of helmets that we're getting, and that one is leading the charge as he's going to get the handoff again here. And it's going to be a big gain. It looks like he's going to cross the 25-yard line for a first down.
Well, Chris, when you look good, you play good. And like you said, with that new style of helmet, it's looking to fit with this game pretty nicely.
Absolutely. He is looking dripped out, as a lot of people would say, as they're already lining up for another play here on this first down. Looks to be doubles underneath with a jet. It's going to be a jet sweep. Oh, I'm sorry, a fake jet. It's going to be a handoff. Jace Ashley's going to break loose. He's crossing the 20, crossing the 10, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. What a play by the Horizon Huskies. Jace Ashley going all the way to the end zone. What a play.
My goodness, turn on the boosters, young man. I mean, what better way to respond from an interception than running the whole dang football field, taking it to the house?
He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. He faked out almost everybody, as I thought he handed off the jet sweep, but he gashed right up the middle of the field in between the hashes for that long touchdown as we're getting set for the PAT. What a response there by the Huskies.
That's a quarterback that's going to be a matchup issue moving forward this season. Being able to put it in the air, has a pretty good arm to him, and look at that full display. Look at the feet going all the way.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, I've watched a lot of football in my time, and I always have grown to appreciate the fundamentals. The way he sold that handoff on the fake jet sweep, very well done. He even faked out me as I thought he handed it off, but little did I know he was already crossing the 50 on that touchdown run as Horizon's getting ready to kick it away to see Kellis' response.
Like you said earlier, a NASCAR-type offense. We're seeing it right here first. And Horizon already got the first score of the game. We'll look to see if Kellis can respond. Likely they will. Both the teams have been pouring in offensive outputs week in and week out.
Absolutely, as Kellis' offense put up 44 points to their 28 points last week against Independence and Peoria, respectively. all offense led by their quarterback. I like to call him RC3, Ronald Cody III. Also listed on our rosters as a quarterback and a cornerback. So he looks like he's a two-way player. Kind of interesting to see that dynamic. Really, other than a lot, or especially a lot of high school teams, you don't really like to see your quarterback do anything else other than his offensive responsibilities. But interesting. Maybe we'll see that at some point in this game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would love to see that here because, I mean, most of the time your goal is to protect your guy at the helm, right? Protect your leader. When you put him on the defensive end, he's in there with the big dogs. So definitely a chance to get hurt, but also definitely a chance to make a lasting impact on that defense.
Absolutely, as we are just about ready to get this kick away. And it is one of their three kickers, number 23, Palmer Podwinka, getting ready to send it away. And the kick is off, and it's going to be a big boot. All the way inside the 5-yard line is going to be fielded as he crosses the 10-yard line. Pushes the overtop sideline, and he's going to be brought down just about the 20-yard line. And that'll be the starting point for the Cougars on this second drive of the game.
I believe that was David Bedoya taking that kick return, and we're going to see it. I'm calling it now. He will take one for at least 10-plus yards.
Very interesting. We're very curious to see what the response is going to be for RC3 in this Cougars offense. Wide receiver Tristan Bacon, 182 yards in week 1 against Independence and 134 yards last week against Peoria. 2 touchdowns in both games. Definitely a dynamic player. Kind of curious to see when they're going to get him involved in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely a focal point for their offensive output. So Horizon's going to have to take a deep look and make sure that he doesn't get hot.
And it's going to be a play-action play, read option just for a gain. And it looks like the ball was loose, but he might have been down. No reviews here in high school, so whatever the call on the field is, and it looks like the ball is going to stay with Kellis on that play.
Yeah, I mean, they probably know, and like you would know playing back in your day, you don't stop going until the whistle's blown. So every time a ball is on the floor, you're taking it and you're going to try to make a play.
Absolutely, and trust me, you do not want to be caught in that film room on a Saturday morning not going all the way until the whistle. You'll hear a few things about it in that film room as we're getting ready for this second down play for Kellis. And it's going to be 2 receivers over top, 1 underneath. It looks like they have a wing lined up underneath on the strong side. And it looks like they're getting a call. They're going to end up taking a timeout. A little bit of confusion there on Kellis' side.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of confusion there. Chris, I'm not going to lie. I'm smelling the kettle corn, and I'm getting a little bit hungry. So this timeout may be a perfect time to go down there and get some kettle corn.
That's when you know it's a Friday night here in the fall, is when you start smelling that kettle corn. Always let me know that it was definitely that time of night here on a Friday. Just the ambiance, as we have the student section just here to our right, packed house here for Horizon. I was here last week, and I don't think the stadium was that full last week. It looks definitely a big ambiance here in Horizon.
They definitely went to school, went to their guys, and said, "Hey, we need a bigger turnout. So come out here, support your guys." And it's lovely to see here tonight, right? I mean, Horizon's program year in and year out are producing high-level teams that compete. We haven't seen Horizon win a 5A state championship since 2021. I bet they got their eyes on it this year.
Absolutely, as last year they came just short, falling 18-15 in the semifinals. I'm trying to really grasp the fact of how Horizon has become a really slept-on program, as RC3 is going to take the play action to be a read option play, and the ball is actually going to be out on that play, and it's going to fall right into Horizon's hands. And on that recovery, that is number 20, Sean Oser. On the recovery, Horizon, as to your point, has really been a slept-on program here in Arizona. Obviously, there's a lot of quite good teams around the valley here, but Horizon has been a consistent team within the past few years. I remember seeing them a couple times when I was in high school, and they were their tape really spoke for itself. They were a really sound team as they go into this year first year under Tyson Ditmore, but they've really been a sound program, kind of under the radar the past few years.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Arizona really produces some great level football squads, and we're seeing it right now with Horizon. What a momentum switching moment right there to get the fumble and now get your offense on the field.
as he actually hands off the jet sweep that time for a gain of about 2. And that is number 2, Adem Wagner, on the play.
Yeah. This Horizon offensive lineup is very lethal and very deep. I think they have a lot of options they can go to.
And I'm going to hold myself accountable on that missed call. That was Ethan Shaw on the fumble recovery, reading the wrong roster over here, as we have a stoppage here on the field. As it looks like they're going to have Zamorano come out on that play, initiated by the ref. And that's his understudy, Johnny Issett, going to take the field, to my point. And it looks like I see number 0, Jackson Murray, out on the play, setting up a block. And it's going to be a gain of about 4 on that play. You know, to Johnny Issett on that carry, they had number 0 out as he's coming out as an extra blocker to our point pregame.
Yeah, I mean, Issett, what better way to impact the game than go in and get a few yards, right? Know your number. When it's called, be ready to go.
Absolutely, as we're already ready for this 2nd down and 7 play, as Asher's going to take the snap and hand it off to Zamorano, who's back in the game, and he's going to bounce outside as there was a wicked block underneath, and he's going to gain about 6 on that play for a 3rd and short.
That just shows you how good of a runner Zamorano is. I mean, that looked like a dead play, and Zamorano was able to make something of it, squeeze and spin around for a few extra yards.
And it looks like they're bringing back another heavy set as we have Agent 0, Jackson Murray, coming back out. Maybe he's going to line up as a wing to set up a block. They had him on a little bit of a motion to set up what they call a wham block, as he's going to line up as a wing here. Maybe we're going to get that wham block. And it looks like we have some action up pre-snap as we have a penalty flag on the play.
You hate to see that being in the red zone and seeing laundry being tossed on the field, right? You got to be disciplined as a defensive squad and know that you have Horizon almost in your territory. You have to know that you have to be locked in and ready to go.
As that is going to be an offsides penalty here on Kellis, moving Horizon just a little bit closer to about the 17-yard line for a 1st down. As they're going to have a jet motion from over top to underneath. It's going to be a play action. They're going to roll him out on a bootleg, and it's going to be a low throw intended for his tight end, Jax Markovich.
We haven't seen a ton of good throws from Ashley yet today, but I'm thinking that's going to change. I'm really liking the routes that his team is running, and I'm seeing a lot of guys get open. Sooner or later, he's going to put it on the money.
Absolutely, and one thing that a lot of offenses like to establish early on in the game is definitely want to find your rhythm, and you do that pretty much by the run game, and then you start working in some passing. And I've seen Horizon run a lot of bootleg passes. They're going to run another one here, as Ashley's going to have some trouble as he has a rusher coming, and he has a catch, and it looks like it's just going to be just out of bounds. What an athletic play there by, it looks like to be number 11, Jake Garrod.
Yeah, that was for sure a grab. I mean, really didn't have a chance of keeping it in bounds, but still, what a way to make that catch.
What an athletic play there, as we're getting set for a 2nd down here for Horizon.
It just goes to show that how important each snap is and that you can't be getting penalties at this side of the field.
Absolutely, definitely. I'm sorry, there's going to be a third. It's going to be a 3rd down here, as the ref is walking over to the Horizon side, maybe to sort something out before we get this game going. To your point earlier, to use Jace Ashley, last week I kind of noticed he was having some trouble getting settled in, finding his rhythm. Compared to his week 1 performance, where he really seemed comfortable in the pocket, making those quick throws, operating that NASCAR style offense. What do you think of him so far in the brief outing that he's put up so far?
I mean, it can't be nothing but positive, right? When you take a 75-yard run to the house, you're already going to have at least a good game at minimum. So he has that interception. I think he responded well from it, and we'll see what he can do on this possession. I think it's going to be very big.
And they're going to have a jet motion. Looks like it's going to be a jailbreak screen to number 11, Garrod, and he's going to be stuffed and brought down for gain of maybe about 2, bringing up a 4th down, as it looks like the field goal unit is going to usher out here for Horizon.
Yeah, I think Kellis played a very good defensive stance right there. All odds against them. They had that penalty, getting them a 1st down in the red zone, but they stayed disciplined. And they're going to give the Horizon Huskies a field goal attempt instead of them getting 6.
Absolutely, as we are just about ready to get this kickoff. hoping to put up 3 points here for the 10-0 advantage. It's going to be up, and it's going to be through the uprights and good for Horizon. And that was Palmer Podwika on the PAT as they are getting ready to get this ball back to Kellis. What do you think Kellis is going to come out with in response? Now down 10-0 with 4:13 left in the first quarter.
Well, it's still early, so I think they could stick to the similar game plan. Horizon has been eating all of their actions up. I'd like to see Tristan Bacon get out and going. If he doesn't play good, it's hard to see if Kellis will play good.
Yeah, it looks like they're really trying to get RC3 going on the running game, as we saw a couple read options on that last drive. And to your point too, I'm very curious to see this passing attack, as we saw pregame. They have a 36.8% percentage completion wise on their passing game, which isn't ideal as far as the passing game goes. So maybe they're going to try and use this opportunity to try and get that going.
Yeah, it's almost bonkers to think that their completion percentage is that low, but they're producing that much amount of points. I mean, like you said, they've been a powerhouse getting in the end zone. So it just goes to show that you could score in a multitude of ways on the football field.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely not an ideal completion percentage there for Kellis. A lot of teams like to sit themselves over and be satisfied with at least a 60% completion percentage, which is exactly where Horizon is at throwing wise. As Jace Ashley has struggled with his passing efficiency so far in this game, as we're getting ready to get the kickoff by Podwika. And the kick is going to be off, and it's going to be another big boot there by Podwika. Wow, what a leg, and it's going to be a touchback as Kellis is going to take over around the 20-yard line.
I think if I heard beat it too, I'd kick it that far. I mean, Michael Jackson, beautiful night. I couldn't ask for more.
Absolutely, and special teams really showed up for Horizon last week, and plays like that, when you have a kicker with a big leg like that, you really could opens up a lot of opportunities as far as the special teams operation goes, as it looks like Kellis is going to take the field offensively for their third drive of the game to hopefully make a response to this 10-0 deficit with 4:11 left in the first quarter, as it looks like they're going to have a 2-by-2 set with the running back lined up over top, as Horizon's going to come out with three down and 2 stacked in the box, and they're going to bring pressure on both sides, or at least bluff. And it's going to be a quick throw broken up, maybe an RPO style glance play broken up by Horizon.
I think that was a very interesting play, and it almost worked. I mean, RC3, like you say, I love that nickname. He almost had him right there on the money, but it did, like you said, just get broken up, and the ball went dead.
Absolutely, as it's going to be a 2nd and 10 here with 4:10 left in the first quarter here at Horizon. And their Cougars are going to come out in another 2-by-2 set. 3 down linemen, as number 10, Colton Becker, looks to be bluffing off of the side, showing pressure, and it's going to be a rush up the middle brought down by number 6, Nathan Senior.
I mean, if you're Horizon right now, you're smiling cheek to cheek. Your offense is rolling. You're up 10-0 in the first quarter, and your defense is working their behind off. I haven't seen a defense work this hard in a long time.
Absolutely, and aspect of the game that I noticed last week, and I brought this up in my post-game interview with him. You look at all the green jerseys here on the Horizon side, but you always see one that's just a little bit darker than the others. That's number 0, Jackson Murray. Testament to how hard he's working, as we saw him on offense a couple plays in that last drive. But he's down there in the trenches at nose guard, as it's going to be another 3rd down play for Kellis, as they have 3 underneath, and it looks like we have a penalty flag, as the defense might have been a little too eager for Horizon.
I mean, that guy's a stud. Not only, like you said, just going in on defense, getting dirty, but how about you go play on offense, block, and also run for a few rights, maybe even get a catch.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a delay of game for the Cougars. So a lot of housekeeping issues so far for Kellis early on in this game. Definitely not something you really want to see ever, but at week 3, it's definitely established in-game operation. So Maybe not. Maybe they'll have to pay for that next week in practice.
Oh, definitely. I played basketball, so we did mop ups. What is a football equivalent for that?
I've done a lot of things in my time. Gassers are one.
Oh gosh.
I was at the Chandler program. We did something called the Gauntlet. Definitely not something I would wish on anybody or any other program, as we get a quick throw back down to the sticks.
I'm sorry if I opened up a traumatic wound. It just seems like the past day worked you really hard.
Those hot summer days get a lot hotter when you're doing stuff like that in the summertime, for sure.
Yeah.
As it's going to be a third down for, oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be a fourth down as they're getting ready to send another punt down as Adem Wagner is going to be set to field yet another punt. Another stall after the penalty for Kellis on that drive. As they're getting ready to send this punt back, and it's going to be, tough blocking scheme. And it's going to be a high kick, and he called a fair catch somewhere in the midst of that, and it looks like we may get a kit catch interference as we have a flag on the play.
Could you go ahead and explain that? What is a kick catch interference for our viewers?
Adem Wagner was back to field that punt, and he called a fair catch as a defender ran right into him. That's a kick catch interference. Once he calls that fair catch, or even if he catches that fair catch and he's touched, it's going to be a penalty every time.
How many yards did they get off that?
I want to say it's about 5. I want to say
Okay.
it could be 10. I'm not too sure.
I see.
With the high school rule book
Yeah.
of that.
Definitely. I mean, Chris, what do you think about this take? I think this could be one of the most important defensive possessions of the game for Kellis. You just got swallowed up on offense after having a great defensive stand. If you can't stop them here, it's looking like you can't stop them at all.
Absolutely. The game was we have 2:28 left in the first quarter, but that penalty is going to bring them all the way up to the 25-yard line in the plus territory for Horizon. So not ideal housekeeping for Kellis so far. But yeah, to your point, 17 points is a tough deficit. Maybe they'll get lucky and force a 13, or they'll get a stop here as they're going to do a handoff to Zamorano as we have another flag on the play. But he's really going to drive his way all the way to about the 21-yard line, I want to say.
RBs like that just put their head down and go. You can't get enough of them, right? I mean, what a great run there. Whistle's blown. He still doesn't care. He's pushing his way to get what he wants.
Absolutely. As we see the Horizon offense backing up, it could be a holding call, I want to say. Yes, and it is going to be a holding call, backing him all the way up to about the 35-yard line of Kellis. And, they're really trying to bring back that run game. And to your point, a lot of physicality up front, which to Coach Ditmore's point and post-game last week really lacked. And probably going to was an emphasis in practice this week.
Yeah.
As they're going to line up, and they're going to have a tight end line up as a wing, and he's going to be motioned to the middle part of the offensive line, setting up a wham block, and it's going to be Zamorano up the middle for a gain of about 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see how Horizon will stalk up one side to really get up a hole for Zamorano.
Definitely an interesting style of they like to call it a wham block, where they have the tight end lined up as a wing, and he's going to come in and crash to set up a block in the interior offensive line. Maybe they're going to go back to that. It's actually going to be a split. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be a bootleg. He's going to throw the slider out underneath to his tight end Markovich for a small gain.
Yeah, Markovich also just another option in Horizon's bag. He had a touchdown last game against Mountain View. He's averaging 43 yards a game. He also plays on the varsity basketball team. He's a 6'4" power forward.
Two-sport athlete, definitely an interesting aspect. He's really been a secret weapon of this offense, as it's going to be another bootleg for Ashley, as he's going to take his check down to Zamorano on a little hitch route, and he's going to be right into the end zone, pretty much untouched for that touchdown. And another 6 points for the Horizon Huskies. And there's the passing game that we have been hoping for to see. And that was quite a good throw there by Jace Ashley.
Yeah, like we said, we knew it was coming. Get comfortable. And he put it on the money to his number one boy, Zamorano. Right there. I don't even think that play was really designed for Zamorano, but he just found himself open, had a few blockers on his side, and said, I'm going to take this to the crib.
Absolutely. I couldn't really tell if that was a bootleg or a screen, as the PAT is going to be up and good. A new wrinkle in offense that I've seen at the collegiate level is called a Sark screen, implemented by Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian. It's kind of a bootleg screen which might have been what we saw on that play. But nonetheless, very nice play there by Jace Ashley, and quite an explosive touchdown there for Zamorano, going to add to his one of many touchdowns that he's already had in this young season.
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player. And what's interesting is they have another very good quarterback. His name is Carter Puma. He's a junior, and it just sucks that sometimes you have to wait until your number's called, like we said with Ishit. And he has played in both games so far. We'll see if he's going to be able to get minutes tonight, especially if this gap keeps on widening.
Absolutely, yeah. I've seen Carter Puma in the previous 2 games, and I've really been impressed with the way that he operates the offense too. So to your point, maybe we'll get to see him, but gotta wonder if the reins will be handed to him next year. Kind of being taken under the wing of Jace Ashley, who is the senior this year.
Yes,
As
sir.
we're getting ready to see Podwika send another kick out to Kellis, as Kellis is going to take over for their 4th drive of the game. And yeah, I'm curious to see if we will get to see Carter Puma at some point tonight, as I've been impressed with his play too in what a lot of teams like to call garbage time. It's another big kick and a little bit of arch there, as that's going to be fielded and it's going to be a touchback, but that landed about the 1-yard line. Very impressive kick by Podwika.
Yeah, I mean, Podwika, like we attested to earlier, he's a very league impacting player. He's up there in the records, and he's showing it here tonight.
As Kellis is going to take over here at about the 20-yard line. A stat that stood out to me that we highlighted in pregame, they average 11.3 yards per carry on offense, which a rule of thumb when you're establishing your offense post or off season going into the season, you always want to average at least 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That'll establish the efficiency of your offense. But 11.3, that's pretty well done. Maybe we'll get to see it going here, as RC3 is going to make a quick throw on the flat, and it's going to be about a first down, a gain of about 9 on that play. Quick throw there, maybe a little bit of quick game coming from Kellis.
Yeah, I mean, right there, that was needed. Really need to see that offense open up and see a little bit of hope, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel there for the Cougars.
And it's going to be a gain of about 9, and it's going to be a second down for Kellis. I'm sorry, they got the first down on that play, so it is a 1st and 10 here for Kellis, as they one play, 10 yards, as time is ticking under a minute here in this first quarter. Maybe they'll get another couple plays, as they're going to line up with about 2 tight ends lined up underneath. And it's going to be a play-action play. Another quick throw, popping the seam on that sit route for another first down. Another big throw there for Kellis.
Yeah, RC3 once again getting in the pocket quick and getting it out to his guys running the routes. That was a great play there that I saw.
Very nice job, as they're starting to show flashes of their own NASCAR-style offense. A lot of quick game throws, setting up the play-action pass, which is another luxury when you have a dynamic run game like that. Obviously averaging 11 yards per carry, but that opens up the play-action pass where you just do a little handoff at the beginning of the play to get the defense to bite on it a little bit to open up some passing lanes.
Yep.
As they're going to hand off again up the middle, and that is going to be stuffed out by, guess who? Number 0, Jackson Murray, the Colorado State commit, as that looks like it's going to be the last play of the first quarter, as time is going to be ticked away for the first frame here at Horizon High School, where the Horizon Huskies are up 17-0 so far over the Kellis Cougars. Anything stood out to you in that last drive by Kellis real quick?
I mean, what really stood out is we're starting to see their offense clicking. We haven't seen a lot from their run game, but like you said, they feel a little bit more comfortable, and we're seeing it with the ball in the air, get into the receiver's hands, and they're getting first downs.
And then they're gonna hopefully come out and keep that going with the break here in between quarters. And looks like we're gonna take a little break here with the Varsity Sports Show, as we're gonna send it to commercial and come back to you with the second quarter. Don't go anywhere.
You may remember me from the spring semester. My name is Alexandra Medina, and I am a sports journalism student at ASU Cronkite. My passion for sports began when I was tuned into ESPN at just the age of 6 years old. I am excited to be back with the Varsity Sports Show to bring you the latest sports news in Arizona and across the country. Thanks for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show. I am Alexandra Medina.
And welcome back. We are live here at Horizon High School with a 17-0 advantage to the Huskies over the Kellis Cougars as we are getting ready to get this second quarter started, as Kellis is going to take over at about the 42-yard line of their own minus territory. And RC3, Ronald Cody III, is going to take the quick throw play action, or I'm sorry, it looked like an RPO smoke screen, and he's going to break loose, and it's going to be a big gain here for Kellis, and that is, oh, the ball popped out at the end. And what looked like to be a big play for Kellis might turn out to be advantage for Horizon as we wait for the call on the field. That ball popped out late, so he might have been down, but the refs are conversing in the middle of the field. What could be a turn of events for Horizon's advantage.
And oh my goodness. Oh, if you're Kellis, you're really nervous right here because, like you said, what a great play right there. Kellis was able to take it up the field, get a ton of yardage, and now the Zebras are in the middle of the cage discussing the call.
Absolutely, as they looked like that RPO smoke screen was going to get a little snuffed out behind the line of scrimmage. He broke quite a few tackles for that big gain.
Yeah.
As we look like we're getting ready to hear the official call from the ref. Here, maybe they will be able to reap the benefits of that big gain, as he looks like he's going to meet up with Coach Ditmore. As they're conversing here as we wait for the call here. What could be a swing of momentum here in favor of Kellis. Did not expect them to come out with that sort of bang here in the second quarter.
Yeah, really packed a punch there with that run. But the momentum of the game will be decided here. And I think the Cougars are going to keep it. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're able to keep that and reap the benefits of that big gain as they ruled them down before the ball popped out. Again, no review here in high school football, as whatever's the call on the field is the call that's going to go, as they look to run a double stack on both sides, as RC3 is going to roll out for a off-balance throw that was just a little short of his man in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, RC3 had to weave some LBs right there. They're breaking through the main line, and he was out throwing the run. I think he might have been able to make a play there if he wasn't under so much pressure.
And yeah, Ronald Cody III definitely showed off his wheels a little bit there, just a little bit short on that throw. Definitely a tough throw to make as you're rolling to what is his weak side. Poses up for a little bit of a short throw as he tries to make that awkward throw, as they're going to have three underneath with one over top on this second down play. Horizon's going to bring pressure. It's going to be a swing screen. It's going to be dropped, sniffed out by number 6, Nathan Sr. of Horizon.
Very close right there. That could have been something for Horizon to grab and go. Very well defense being played by them. Every possession, I think they're really showing how much grit they got and just trying to stop Kellis Cougars from getting into the end zone.
Absolutely. What a stand so far by Horizon. Their red area defense has been quite stellar so far in the first two games. As we thought the momentum was shifting over to Kellis after that big play, they find themselves on a 3rd and 10. As they're going to have three underneath again with one over top, as Horizon's going to bring pressure again off the edge. And it's going to be a quick throw just high, incomplete, intended for number 12, Nathan Macias.
Yeah, I mean, they had to make something there. Try to do it with the pass game, and now they have a long field goal attempt for the high school level. This isn't a guarantee.
Absolutely, as that was number 22, Gage Lee, the middle linebacker, coming off the edge. Testament to what we said earlier in pregame. Horizon likes to bring a lot of stunts. They mainly come out in a 3 front. Maybe they'll come out in the 4-man front defensively. But, wow, actually looks like Kellis is going to go for it here on 4th and 10.
Oh, my gosh.
But they like to bring a lot of backers off the edge. Maybe we'll see that, as looks like all 3 backers are lined up off. And it's going to be a bunch over top on the short side of the field. And it's going to be a throw. It's going to be tipped up, and oh, that was caught. What a play. Was he inbounds, though? And it's going to be ruled a touchdown. Kellis, what a play. In between 2 defenders, catching it off of the ricochet.
Oh my. Ben Kulos. What a call right there from the head coach. You got to have some pretty big kahunas to let that one rip 4th and 10.
Yeah, definitely an interesting call down 17-0, but it pays off. Looked like that ball was going to be picked off, but bounced off the two defenders as it looked like they ran into each other. And it was caught off the ricochet for the Kellis touchdown as they get set up for the PAT.
I mean, that's what you want in this type of game, right? You're down 17-0. You have a very knick-knack call right there after you got a big run. How about a circus play to go get in the end zone and get yourself 7 points on the board?
It's going to be a very high kick, just getting in between the uprights for the true PAT. But yeah, to your point, looked like after that big play, they were able to maintain the possession of the ball. They were snuffed out for first 3 plays of the set of downs that they had. Fourth down, they go for it, and it pays off for them as they respond, and it looks like they get on the board to bring this deficit down to only 10 again.
Yeah, that was a must-score possession. You couldn't give Horizon the ball after giving up another goose egg on offense. Now it's 17-7, like you said. Horizon's going to have a chance to respond, but Kellis put themselves in a great position moving forward.
As it looks like we're getting ready to get the Horizon offense back out here as they are taking the field. And the Horizon special teams unit is taking the field as they're getting ready to get their quarterback, Jace Ashley, and company back out here on the field. Kellis' defense, they've shown flashes of on and on. They've had to deal with some pretty bad field position deficits so far early on in the first quarter, but looks like they're riding with some momentum coming into this next drive for Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, Kellis, it's not just Horizon. Kellis is an offensive powerhouse, too. They can score the football. So I think that was a great statement they just made. Now Horizon's going to get another crack at it, and we will see what will happen moving into the second quarter.
Definitely curious if we're going to get more of that NASCAR-style offensive action here from Horizon as the kick is just about ready to be sent off to the Huskies for their next drive.
I mean, everything's faster in Arizona, right? The run game, the fast food lines, it doesn't get better than that. So I think these teams are both trying to play quick.
Absolutely, as that was Bodie Zamorano on the return, I want to say. And yes, it was Mr. Zamorano. And those fast food lines, especially at In-N-Out, better be moving fast after this game, as that is a tradition out here in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely want to hit that In-N-Out after the Friday Night Light games. But going to be placed at about the 34-yard line for Horizon. Pretty good field position on that high kick, on that kickoff.
Yeah, very well done for them. And Chris, I'll let you in on a little secret. You want to get In-N-Out before the football game because everyone's going to go there afterward. So now I got into my system for this call, and I'm feeling very well. Just want to let you know.
Absolutely, as it's going to be a read option there by Jace Ashley, and he's going to break loose again. Another big run as he crosses the 45-yard line for a first down. What a play there by Horizon.
I mean, Ashley's just such an athlete. He's able to sit there in the pocket, make a read, but I think his best skill is how he's able to get going on the field, get his legs going, and get some yards for that offensive squad.
Another big run by Jace Ashley, and they're going NASCAR again, and it's going to be another run to the opposite side of the field. He's going to slide just about the 45 as they creep into the plus territory for Horizon.
I mean, when you're a quarterback that can get it going and put it on the field, how much more dangerous does that make you from the defense standpoint?
I mean, it poses another threat of the element of their offense. As he's going to get the snap, and they're going to throw it here. He actually sits back in the pocket just off the hands of number 2, Adem Wagner. But to respond to your question, I mean, you know, you look at Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, and that offense is definitely a run-heavy offense. You know, obviously they can pass it. They have a lot of dynamic receivers, but, you know, it opens up a lot of play-action passes, a lot of hard-nosed running with running backs, jet sweeps, your quarterback running. Opens up a lot of possibilities for your offense as they're going to line up with trips underneath as they have their tight end Markovich lined up as a wing, and it looks to be a timeout for Horizon.
Is it too much to say that I think Chase and Zamorano kind of play like a Jackson-Henry type of duo?
I mean, typically, I would say Zamorano, I would comp him, if I were to comp him with an NFL player, I would go definitely with maybe Kyron Williams of the LA Rams. A little bit of a speedy guy, but he can run hard. But yeah, Jace Ashley, I was thinking about this last game. I kind of would comp him more with a J.J. McCarthy, who's now on the Minnesota Vikings. Although he's hurt, with the tape that he showed at Michigan, definitely a dual threat style. A lot of system-based throws. Definitely, I would comp Jace Ashley with J.J. McCarthy for sure.
Well, great praise there, right there for my guy Chris in the booth. I mean, like we've been saying, he is a stud on the football field, and Horizon's gonna have a chance about halfway through the field, and we can really see what they're gonna do down on this drive.
Absolutely, and looks like I spy number 0 Jackson Murray on the field, maybe to bring out another heavy set. Maybe we'll get a wham play up the middle, or maybe a little bootleg to their tight ends as they are looking to get the huddle set for this 3rd and 2 here on the 45-yard line with 10:26 left to go in the second quarter, as they're up 17-7 over the Kellis Cougars. Maybe trying to get some momentum back after the big drive there, the explosive drive there by the Cougars.
Yeah.
As Horizon looks to establish a rhythm of their own, as it looks like they're going to have a heavy set on the backside, and it's going to be a QB sweep with Jace Ashley, and he's just going to walk right through for the first down, and it's going to approach the 35-yard line here in the plus territory.
He's like running like when you have socks and you're running down the hallway, right? He's just sliding right through the holes and getting to the end of the hallway. I mean, Tyson Ditmore is putting him in a great position in this offense, is being able to get yards and really push it down the football field.
I got to say, yeah, I will praise their offensive system for catering to a lot of the strengths here, as we see Bodie Zamorano, who is another big strength, as he's going to rumble all the way across the 30-yard line, approaching the 25 for yet another Huskies first down.
Chris, good teams can score and put numbers on the board. Great teams get punched in the mouth and respond well. What can this Horizon team do after getting scored on after that fantastic drive from the Kellis Cougars?
They can maintain what they're doing, which is going to be exactly what they do, as they run an outside zone to Zamorano as we have a flag on the play. But yeah, definitely they come back and they respond with some efficiency on offense, as it looks like a pretty sound drive here by the Huskies up until maybe we'll get this call for the penalty to see who it is on. But the efficiency of the Huskies offense this drive has been admirable so far, led by Jace Ashley with a couple quarterback runs.
Couldn't have been said better. I mean, I don't know about your high school, Chris, but mine definitely did not have a TV on the sideline. It just shows us so that this is a great program and they really take their sport serious.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the TV on the sideline.
Okay.
Definitely a advantage to have. You could get film in real time and make adjustments in game. Definitely an advantage for any high school who has that luxury, as that penalty looks like it's going to go against the Horizon Huskies, backing them up all the way to about the 43-yard line. So a huge penalty and loss of yardage there for this efficient operation on offense.
They're going to have a lot of ground to cover now after that penalty, and so we'll see what they'll do right now.
And they're going to motion their tight end across on the jet motion, setting up a split zone block. And it's going to be stuffed out for the handoff with just a short game, but it's going to be a scrum in the middle of the field, and it's finally blown dead. Testament to the physicality of the trenches, which I can appreciate being a former lineman myself.
Yeah, I mean, you see just a mix of both colors from both teams. The white and green jerseys is mixing in. It almost makes a new color after that scrum.
Kind of look at it as a blank canvas, mash up the paint colors together as we are getting set for this 2nd and 16 play. Jace Ash is going to drop back, facing some pressure as he slides up in the pocket, looking to make something happen here. And he's going to scurry his way just before the 40-yard line. I'm sorry, I believe that was a 3rd down, setting up 4th down here for the Huskies. So very unfortunate fizzleization. I don't even know if that's a real word, but very unfortunate outcome for this drive here for the Huskies.
Sounded professional. I think we're going with it. I mean, yeah, he almost broke away right there. He was really zipping and zooming. And at that last guy, he just got brought down at the feet, setting up the punt return.
I got to say, I said earlier, I appreciate a lot of fundamental offensive operations, and his pocket poise where he slides up in the pocket was very well done there, as the punt is going to be booted by number 17, Riker Floyd. It's going to be a wide kick bouncing out about the 15-yard line. And that's going to be the starting point for this next Kellis drive, which hopefully they can take advantage of with 8:05 left in the second, only down 10 now.
That kick was so wide, it almost injured one of our varsity sports reporters on the sideline. He was able to bat it away before it broke the software.
Very heads-up job there by our crew here on the sidelines. As Kellis, I'm very curious to see what their response is. I like their use of the RPO game. Obviously, that insane turn of events on that last 4th down play Very lucky play, I would say. The football gods really watching out for them there as they're getting set for this first down at about the 15-yard line, backed up in their own territory as Ronald Cody III is going to take the snap, and it's going to be a handoff on the outside zone to his running back, and he's going to bounce all the way across the 20-yard line for a gain of about 5 or 6.
Yeah, they got a long way to go, but that was good to see off the first down, getting some yards there. They have some distance, but it looks bright for this drive.
Very curious to see what they're going to do on this second down. And it looks to be like a 2nd and 5 here for the Cougars. Maybe Horizon going to bring some pressure off the edge. As we said the last drive, they like to bring a lot of different looks off the front, even though with all staying true to their 3 front up front, as they like to line up their linebackers or their free safety number 10, Colton Becker, off the edge. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And that's exactly who's going to sniff out that run play. Colton Becker coming off the edge and making a big play for a loss of yardage on that second down, setting up a third down.
I have a good feeling that you've been watching film from both teams, really getting a gauge at how they play.
Yeah, I've covered Horizon for the past 2 weeks, so I've picked up on a lot of things. I've seen a few things from them. I watch quite a bit of football, so I can piece some things together of different operations. As we are getting set for this third down here for Kellis, maybe hoping to get a first down to keep this operation going and cut into this 10-point deficit. And it's going to be a 3rd and 4 for the Cougars. 2 receivers lined up over top and underneath. It's going to be a big catch there, long, high throw, but that is caught for the first down. So this drive is going to keep on going. Quick throw there by RC3.
Huge catch there. I mean, he really just elongated his body and was able to keep going for an extra half yard after he brought it down. Very athletic play and a huge catch moving forward into this drive.
Definitely why you like your receivers a little bit taller in frame there. But Cody the third is going to lead this operation into another set of downs. As it looks like it's going to be an overload blitz there, breaking through, but it's going to be a quick throw. What a throw there by Cody, crossing the 50-yard line into Horizon territory.
Yeah, man, he threw that in traffic like me trying to get to the game earlier, and he found his guy open and really thread the needle, and they got the first down.
Absolutely, and a little bit of a pocket poise there by Cody the third, as he's going to keep this drive going, and now this Cougar offense is humming, especially with a lot of pressure looks that Horizon likes to display. And they're going to have 3 receivers lined up over top, and a running back and a receiver lined up underneath, as it's going to be more pressure, and it's going to be an offsides penalty against Horizon. And their coaching staff does not like that, as a couple headsets came off, and there are words being screamed out to their players.
You know there's some heavy emotion when the headsets fling off of the head. Yeah, I mean, you can't have that if you're Horizon. Kellis is looking to make this into a one-possession game, and they're doing a good job at it right now.
5:50 left in the second quarter here at Horizon High School, as they're going to line up 3 over top, one underneath again. And it's going to be a passing play. Cody the third, long throw out of reach, just swatted away there, as you see the incompletion hand swiped up by number 21, Elijah Peoples, on the pass breakup on that play.
Yeah, Peoples was just able to get there and just get a hand on it, because that almost was another elongated reception from the Cougars.
Very nice play there by Peoples on that quick throw, setting up a 2nd and 5 here for Kellis. And they're going to come back to that trips over top set, as Cody the third is going to get ready to get this snap off. Pressure being shown by Horizon on both edges. It's going to be a swing screen to the running back, and it's going to cross, brought down by guess who? Jackson Murray, the Colorado State commit, for about a gain of 1 on the play.
How do you think Jackson's going to feel moving from the desert to the Rockies?
Personally, I'm kind of jealous of him. I've lived in Arizona my whole life, and I have been sweating my whole life here. But Colorado, very nice landscape. Colorado State, very up-and-coming program. They had that big game last year against Colorado. They play them again tomorrow night. They had Michigan, or they played a top college football opponent in week 1. Definitely a very up-and-coming program, as they were just announced. I think we were added to the Pac-12 conference.
Yeah, no, it's building up again. That'll be special to see.
And it's going to be an off-schedule throw by RC3, and it's going to be complete for the first down. It looks to be number 12, Nathan Macias. What a play there by RC3.
It just seems that like these balls that are not looking exactly what's intended, it's just working out, and Kellis is riding off that high.
Definitely a knock on a lot of quarterbacks across the nation and college, and especially the NFL too. Can you make off-schedule throws? And RC3 is definitely showing that he can on that play. Very nice display there, getting up another set of downs here for this Cougar offensive operation, as they're going to have come back in an empty set, 3 over top, 2 underneath to the short side of the field, as we're going to have whistles blown dead, and it looks to be a timeout for Kellis. Very curious to see what they were going there. They don't really line up and empty too much. They like to run the ball, so maybe it was a quarterback draw or some sort of screen play, but very curious to see what they were coming out with on that play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really mad at the timeout. Really got to hone together and get the guys on the same page here. This is a very important possession. You've done a great job moving your units down the field, putting your team in position to score.
Absolutely. Got to say, I can hand it to this drive, really being nicely curated by their quarterback, Ronald Cody III. I could really keep going back to that off-schedule play that he made on that last play, as they keep picking at this field deficit that they had starting at the 15-yard line. Hopefully to score another touchdown with 4:28 left in the second quarter to cut into this 10-point lead.
Yeah, I know that this is going to be a great testament to this Cougar team to see how much grit and skill they have. I'd love to see them make it a game here going to the second half. Really get this Friday night light interesting.
Yeah, we have a game brewing here at Horizon High School as we are getting ready for this first down play to get going here. And it looks like they're going to come back in a pistol formation with a wing, and they're going to hand it off, and it's going to be stuffed for a loss. Thought they were going to throw it there. He had a receiver waving his hand over top, but stuffed for a loss there by the Horizon defensive front.
It seems like RC3 just gave his guy into the vacuum, just handed it off, and he got suctioned in to that swarming defense from Horizon.
Absolutely nice display there by the defensive front led by Agent Zero, Jackson Murray. Definitely curious to see if they're going to keep bringing pressure. Definitely been their name of their success defensively the first 2 weeks. I got to hand it to them. They keep bringing a lot of pressures on the edge and in the middle of the A-gaps. And it's going to be a high snap, awkward snap, right into the handoff, and going to be snuffed out for yet another loss, setting up a 3rd and long. Fizzling out is this drive here by Kellis.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier about what those high snaps can do for a play, but even I think Horizon was going to get there either way. They really broke through the line and just took over right there.
Very nice stand here by the Horizon defense. Not going out without a fight. They have really responded a lot to a lot of big plays that Kellis has been cooking up, as Kellis looks to make a response here on 3rd and 13 with 3:04 left in the second quarter. 2 underneath, 2 over top, as RC3 looks to take the snap as they look to be showing pressure. It's going to be a crossfire pressure, and he's going to make the high throw as incomplete, but we have penalty flags on the play, possibly a pass interference there by number 5, Stratton Knee.
If this flag can go Kellis' way, I wanted to take a pause there. I thought they were going to say the call. That would be huge.
Yeah, definitely would be a very unfortunate sequence there for Horizon, as it looks like it's just about to be that way. Penalties. Definitely an issue here for Horizon, as it looks like Coach Ditmore is not too pleased with that on the sideline, as it brings another set of downs here another chance here, or a better chance here for Kellis and this offensive operation.
Yeah, the Cougars and company, they really need to make something happen here. I mean, they're getting opportunities with the laundry being tossed on the floor. They need to make something happen.
And it's going to be an overload blitz, and he was hit hard as he made that throw incomplete. So this Horizon defense lives to play another down with 2:47 left in the second quarter.
I mean, we've seen RC3 make perfected passes through traffic, but he had his man right there on the right side. I really think if he just took another second, he could have got yards there, maybe even a first down.
Absolutely, it's going to bring up a 4th and 5 here for the Cougars. Definitely a big play here as they're going to go for it. Definitely in the manageable field goal range here with 2:47 left in the second quarter. Kellis is not backing down. It's going to be a big play here on 4th and 5. And they're going to bluff pressure on Horizon side, dropping both backers back. 2 high safeties. Under pressure is RC3, and he's going to be hit hard by Jackson Murray in the ball. I'm sorry, the helmet popped out, and what a hit.
Dang, he really rocked RC3 hard right there. Now we have bodies on 4. Hopefully everything is okay.
Big hit there as RC3 is going to be down on the play. And the Horizon defense lives to play another down as we get ready to get this Horizon offense back on the field. Definitely an explosive play there by number 0, Jackson Murray. And definitely a big stand there and another testament to the pressure they like to show on Horizon defensively.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about it earlier in the pregame. Horizon has a ton of physicality, and they're ready to show it at any moment. And right there, the offense drive was fizzling out. They got that flag, and they just hit him with a soft to the face. Hopefully RC3 is ready to go for the rest of this match.
Yeah, definitely scary, especially what happened last night with Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, as the penalty is going to cost Horizon a couple yards. Definitely a big aspect of today's game, but looks like RC3 was able to get off the field. And it's going to back up the Horizon offense as they get ready for this next drive. Hopefully they can get some points in as the half continues to tick away.
Yeah, I mean, right here, they're pretty close. You're almost thinking we're going to get 3, but can they get 7? And that's the goal. If they get 7, they can really make this a close match heading into the second half.
Bringing the deficit up to 17. And I'm sorry, actually, it looks like Kellis is going to keep the ball, bringing them another set of first down downs into the red zone. Definitely favorable position here as it looks like they're lined up on the 14-yard line. 2-by-2 set. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed for a loss of down.
It's really looking like that TV on the sideline is helping out. It's almost like they know the play before it's going to happen.
Absolutely, as it looks like their backup quarterback, Roman Luna, is going to be in the game, but that looks like to be RC3 trotting back out after the big hit.
You got to praise a man like that who will get up after getting put down, and that just shows toughness, grit, and heart.
Absolutely, as he gets back out on the field. Definitely a testament to the helmet that RC3 is wearing. Going back to the helmet conversation we had earlier, he's rocking a Vice's helmet worn by a lot of quarterbacks. As he's going to find a wide open man in the end zone for a quick touchdown. Was he able? Incomplete. Short throw by RC3.
No, that's got to be a deflating moment. Had him wide open. No one between the H and the K in the Huskies name slogan in the end zone.
He was open like Walmart in that end zone and just could not connect with his man. Definitely wanted that one back as he squatted down, a little bit upset with the outcome of that throw as they're looking to come back in a 3rd and 10 with 1:47 left in the second quarter.
It's good, though. We've seen Kellis respond. They got that 4th down touchdown. How do we respond after missing out an opportunity like that?
RC3 with the snap, another quick throw, and it's going to be a short throw, and he's going to find his man in the end zone. A little extracurricular activity, and that's going to be a touchdown and probably another penalty against Horizon.
I mean, if you're Tyson Ditmore, there's got to be a message in the locker room at halftime. How do we stay disciplined, guys? This is what's losing us the game. They could have had the ball already if they didn't give them penalty after penalty.
I can definitely sense that being some sort of topic of conversation as his headset has come off quite a few times with all those penalties on that last drive. Really basically handed Kellis the touchdown, cutting down their lead from what was 17 to now a 3-point lead.
From RC3 getting popped in the dome to making a touchdown throw like that, you got to tip your cap. These guys can play hard.
Absolutely, and looks as we're getting ready for the PAT, it looks like the refs are discussing something. Maybe penalty will be enforced here on the PAT, possibly opening up a 2-point play opportunity here on this extra point.
I mean, if it's something that's definitely not out of reach for the Kellis Cougars. They like to roll with some obscure plays and do things that most people wouldn't do in a nick of time.
They took the momentum that they grabbed at the beginning of the quarter with that smokescreen RPO that went all the way up to the 20 to set up that first score, and they really ran with it. And it's going to be a touchdown, and it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on, wow, Kellis. And another personal foul on Horizon for offsetting penalties to set up that PAT play. Main takeaway is that the touchdown was able to stand, so it's going to set up a PAT and a possible 3-point game here with 1:42 left in the second quarter.
I mean, you expect that, right? It's two undefeated teams, two 5A squads. It's going to get chippy. There's going to be words said, and it's going to get physical. Can they stay composed and not let all of that get to their head and forget about the game?
Definitely a testament to the competitive edge that a lot of schools have out here, as the PAT is going to be up through the uprights and good, bringing the score to 17-14, and another collision in the backfield, and I think another penalty on the Horizon Huskies, maybe on a roughing the kicker call after that PAT attempt.
Now, what would that entail? If the kick's already good, does that make them bring the ball back on the next play?
Possibly enforcing that on the kickoff up to Kellis's decision, as yes, we do have a penalty on the play, possibly a roughing the kicker call. And looks like they might enforce that on the kickoff to possibly pin Horizon back just further in their own territory. And to that point, they really have not given back that momentum ever since that big RPO play at the beginning of the quarter. Kellis has come roaring back, as it looks like the penalty will be enforced, or I'm sorry, declined, but it was against Horizon.
Interesting call there. What would be the benefits of declining that call?
Maybe the rules are just a little bit different from the NFL. As in the NFL, it usually enforced that on the kickoff, but might have just been another PAT try, which really just doesn't seem
Meaningless,
applicable there. Yeah, so they're just going to decline it
Okay.
as they send the ball back to Horizon with 1:42 left in the second quarter. Maybe Horizon will be able to squeak out another score, but given the penalties or the volume of penalties they've had in this quarter so far, I mean, really fizzled out the last offensive drive they had and really kept this drive going for Kellis, which led to another score and pretty much saw their 17-point lead just dissolve in front of their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, one moment you're feeling hot, you're up 17-0, and you just stop the guys from getting into their end zone. And now it's a 3-point ball game. Let's see if they can manage the clock here, get some catches, go out of bounds, and really manipulate the clock. We haven't seen much airtime from Ashley, but I think he could get it going now.
Absolutely, and in the words of Future, don't get too comfortable, as the kick is going to be up and it's going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line, and it's going to be a pretty good return and a good spot. He's going to cross the 35-yard line, approaching the 40, so not a bad starting point here for this Horizon offensive operation. Very curious to see what they're going to do with about 95 seconds left in this half.
Such wise words from such a wise man of our generation.
Absolutely, as the offensive unit's going to trot out. Curious to see what this response is going to be after Kellis's surge so far in this second quarter. Horizon brought a lot of running attacks with Ashley, utilizing him on a lot of read options, quarterback sweeps, as they're going to have 2x2 with a jet motion. And it's going to be that fake jet motion quarterback dive play, and it's going to be about a 5-yard gain for the Huskies.
You know, when time is ticking, I'm wondering if they're going to start to stray away from the run game and really get it in the air.
As it's going to be another NASCAR situation, and it's going to be a handoff to Zamorano, who's going to roar up to the 50-yard line just before it, and it's going to be a first down for the Huskies. Keep the clock in mind, as it's going to be a running clock, as we're now coming under a minute. Or, I'm sorry, it looks like they called a timeout as the clock continued to run, so maybe just a little bit over a minute for this offensive operation to get something going. But maybe, running the ball, as they waste a timeout there, running the ball keeps the clock rolling. I mean, maybe you get about a 5-yard gain as a testament to the last play there. Maybe opens up a lot of passing situations. Got to be curious to see if they're going to whip out a long pass play here. as the half continues to dwindle down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this team isn't your regular team, right? Like you said, it's NASCAR ball here in Scottsdale, Arizona. If they're able to break away on a run, they could take it out of bounds, and they really do a good job of running back to the line of scrimmage quickly to get into the next play.
And it looks like they're going to have trips underneath as they're going to have their tight end lined up just wide. It's going to be a wide trip set with one receiver over top as it looks like they're communicating with the sideline to get this play going. And that's going to be 1:11 left in the half as they're lined up on the 48-yard line of Horizon. And it's going to be a bootleg play, possibly a bootleg flood. And he's going to try and find his receiver, number 11, Jake Garrard. And it's going to be incomplete. Just a little too much mustard pushing the outside sideline, which, I mean, you want to do that. Push the ball to the sideline to get your receiver out, but just a little too much mustard on that throw.
I think that a mustard analogy is perfect. I mean, what do you do when you don't have that much time left or mustard left? You really squeeze it to get the last bits out. You put a little bit too much on there. That would have been a great reception to get going forward. They're going to have another crack at it right now.
As they're already lined up for another trip set underneath with one receiver over top in a pistol formation with Zamorano lined up behind him. And it's going to be a handoff to Zamorano, who's going to break in for a pretty big run of a gain of about 9, crossing into Kellis territory at about the 43-yard line of Kellis. And they're already lined up again on this 3rd down and short. And it's going to be a quick throw and just in between the hands of his tight end, Jax Markovich, on that bootleg play. And again, just a little too much mustard on that throw, pushing to the sideline.
At least that stopped the clock, right? I think that was a great run right there from Zamorano. And if Markovich was able to bring that one down, that would have got them out right about the 30-yard line with time stopped.
This now brings up a 4th down and 1 situation as we see Jackson Murray trot out there. So maybe a heavy personnel here for Horizon. Maybe a run play here, which would be a viable decision here with 47. Now you're in the plus territory as we have whistles, maybe a timeout for Kellis, and that will be a timeout for the Cougars. But they bring out Murray, maybe setting up a wham block, or they do like to use him on a couple passing plays on a bootleg like we just saw on those 2 incomplete passes. Very curious to see how Horizon's going to cap off this half.
This is going to be the most football thing I've seen in my life. One of the coaches on the Horizon huddle right now just wearing a gangster black cowboy hat, ready to roll. I mean, what screams football more than that? I love it.
Definitely showing off a little bit of swagger on the sidelines there. Definitely a swagger choice here on the sideline of Horizon as the offense trots out for a big 4th and 1 as this half is continuing to dwindle away. And Jackson Murray is still out there for their heavy personnel, as it looks like Jace Asher is going to line up under saddle, possibly setting up that wham play that they like to run up the middle. Definitely a valid decision here on a 4th and short. He's going to line up on a wing, and it looks like it's going to be a hard count. Looks to the sideline, and it's going to be motion him to the other side. And it's going to be a handoff, and what is it? The wham block. And he's going to cross the yard mark to about the 40-yard line. And what a block there by Jackson Murray, blocking the defender, that poor corner all the way to the sideline of Horizon, pancaking him. What a block there by Jackson Murray, who is bringing out the physicality here tonight.
He just got sent to the turf on that play there.
As they're already lining up again with a trip set underneath. And he's going to be a quick throw to his drag route underneath to Zamorano. And whoa, what a juke inside, working the joystick. And he's going to approach the 20-yard line, but he was brought down inbounds. So a running clock here as we approach 25 seconds left in the half. They're already lined up for another play, possibly a spike, and it's going to be a spike. Stopping the clock at 22 seconds left in the half. And definitely favorable field position now for the Huskies with 22 seconds left to go in the half.
That was such a huge run there from Zamorano. I mean, he really took advantage and put up the skates right there for a little skirt to get some more yards as he got pushed out of bounds.
Definitely worked the joysticks there. What a display there by Zamorano as they have trips over top of one receiver underneath. And it's going to be a handoff to Zamorano, and he's going to work again. And it looks like we have a penalty flag on the play, possibly negating the big run that brought him all the way up to the 12-yard line.
I mean, either way right now, you're in field goal range. So being able to push your way up the field, manipulate the time like they did, you're going to get some points out of this.
Curious to see what this penalty call is going to be, and it looks like it's going to be against Horizon as the offense is backing up on the field. Yet another penalty that could possibly come back and bite Horizon, as it looks like they were approaching very, very advantageable field position, as now they go from the 12-yard line all the way up to the 32-yard line.
That's a little farther, yeah.
Big loss, big cost there by Horizon, as they're going to take a timeout at the tail end of that penalty to stop the clock.
Horizon had 4 penalties in their game against Mountain View. It's looking like they're going to have a lot more this game. What do you want to see more from them into the second half?
Definitely something you preach all off season, pretty much at all phases of the season, is you always want to play smart, sound football, and they have played sound football in their first 2 games, which makes it a little bit shocking and kind of alarming to see that surge in penalties in this game in week 3 of the season. Gotta imagine that Tyson Ditmore is not too satisfied with that, as we've seen with his actions on the sideline, but most definitely should be a talking point with the team at halftime. As they look to get ready to go here, as we look to cap off this half with 14 seconds as they take over at the 32-yard line of Kellis.
If they get one more penalty, they already invested in that big flat screen. They might have to invest in some more headsets if that headset falls off one more time.
Absolutely. Yeah, to Coach Ditmore, we've observed him here on the sideline. Not been too happy. He's taken his headset off numerous times with all these penalties, which pretty much has swung the advantage to Kellis' favor, as they have a 2-by-2 set. Ashley's going to drop back, has time to work through his progressions, looks to pop the seam to Garrod, and it's going to be caught just a little bit before the 5-yard line with 8 seconds to go. And they're going to look to get this ball spot for a spike, and they're going to do just that with 7 seconds left to go in the half.
Oh my gosh. Go get that ball. I mean, what a on the money throw from Ashley, and his receiver was able to jump up with contact and bring it down for the reception.
And it looks to be some personnel confusion, as it looked like maybe the field goal unit was about to run out, but Ashley kind of wanted to preach his case and stay on the field and make a run for another set of 6 points, but it looks like they're just going to settle for the field goal, which is a smart decision, because with this field position, you don't want to leave any points on the board, as number 22 is getting ready to get this, or I'm sorry, 23 looking to get this kicked off, and that's Palmer Podwika, and that is going to be true. So 20-14 the score here with 2 seconds left in the first half. Possibly just have time for another field goal or a kickoff before we head into the locker room for the halftime.
Yeah, I mean, Horizon, they had one mistake there, and it was that penalty. They're on the 12-yard line from a great run from Zamora. I'm sorry. My goodness. Zamorano. A little bit of a tongue twister there. I don't deal with too many Z names. But he had it at the 12-yard line, brought it back as we saw, and Ashley was able to save their butts and get them a field goal at the end.
Absolutely, as Podwika is looking to that's the last name I've struggled with this past few weeks, calling Horizon. But Podwika looks to possibly boot another kickoff, and that'll probably be just about it for this first half here. In this 20-14 game, started off looking like it could be just another Horizon day at the office with another blowout. But the second quarter was all Kellis. There was a lot of fundamental mistakes and a lot of housekeeping mistakes for Horizon in this second half, as they had penalties cost them a drive, had penalties that would elongate a drive for Kellis, setting up another score. Gotta wonder how Coach Ditmore is going to address that at halftime, as Podwika is looking to send this boot off to cap off this second quarter. And yep, it's just going to be a pooch kick, and it's going to be fielded and grounded. So actually, this Kellis offense is going to have time for maybe a play before we head back into the locker room, and Coach Ditmore is most likely going to address those penalties of his team in the first half.
I mean, most definitely. Wouldn't this be interesting if they were able to make something happen here?
It would most definitely, but it looks like we're going to do a re-kick here.
Oh, okay.
So Podwika is going to get another chance to send it off. Didn't really see any issues with that last kick.
Just add it to the tally. Add it to the tally of the laundry.
To the tally. Definitely should be a talking point with Coach Ditmore at halftime, but there's been some positives. Jace Ashley looks to be settled in as far as passing and running the ball. Their run game looks normal in this first half this week. Defensively, they've mostly been able to bring pressure, a lot of pressure in the face of Ronald Cody III. Definitely things you like to see, and definitely things you don't like to see for Horizon so far in this game. As Podweek is going to send the kickoff again, and it's going to be another pooch kick. Just going to bounce right up to about just past the 25-yard line. It's going to be fielded by, it looks like it's going to be number 2 for Kellis. Possibly, not too sure who that was on that return there. But that'll be just about it for the first half here at Horizon High School with a score of 20-14 in favor of the Horizon Huskies. Definitely a lot of things that need to be cleaned up for the Huskies. A lot of things that need to be cleaned up for the Cougars, but the Huskies definitely got to work on those penalties and definitely got to work on capitalizing on a lot of opportunities that they're handed.
Yeah, I think you said it very well, Chris. I mean, some of the favorite plays from the first half that I wanted to highlight with you. Obviously, Jace Ashley taking it up the hill, just absolutely pushing his way down the football field for that huge first punch in the game. That was big time.
And we are actually going to send it down to our field correspondent, Julia Coyne, who is down there with head coach Tyson Ditmore.
Coach of the Horizon Huskies, Coach Ditmore. Coach, what are you going to tell your team going into this locker room right now?
Well, I think we need to calm down a little bit. You know, we're excited. That's a good football team that came out and they wanted to play with us. We're just too excited.
You know, your run has really been the driving force of the game with Bodie Zamorano and Jace Ashley. What do you have to say about their performance tonight?
Well, they've came out. They knew one of our goals is to run the football, and we got to be able to do it. But what we really have to do is we got to capitalize on these field positions and go score and not get our 3 and outs.
Yeah, so it has gotten to be a really close game. What are some adjustments that you guys can make in the second half?
Well, I think defensively we need to calm down a little bit. You know, they're not doing anything special. They're just coming out and they're executing. And offensively, I think we just need to calm down a little bit and just execute as well.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm Julia Coyne with the Varsity Sports Show.
And we are back up here at the booth as halftime is just about underway. And to the point of Coach Ditmore in that halftime interview, execution is definitely going to be a big focal point for the Huskies in the second half. A lot of housekeeping issues that need to be cleaned up for the Huskies coming into this second half. Kellis has really come roaring back in that second quarter, and very excited to see what the second half has to bring us.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a very exciting second half with a lot of offensive output. I guarantee it. Both teams have settled in. Both teams have gotten their receivers and their backs going, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they do moving forward.
I'm expecting to see that NASCAR offensive horizon in full swing, hopefully with no more hiccups as far as penalties go in this second half. Coach Ditmore, I can definitely see it on his face in that halftime interview, did not look too pleased with his team. He really didn't even look too pleased with the display on offense or defense, saying that his defense needs to calm down and offense just needs to execute.
Yeah.
As his point to the defense, they've simply just let them execute a lot of plays to and advantages that Horizon has just given them.
Yeah, I mean, with a coach like Ditmore, he knows how good his team is, right? He's been with them the whole offseason. He's been with them for a few years now. He knows how good these players are. And to be honest, I would agree with them. They're not playing their best. They could play a lot better, and this gap could be a lot wider. Props to the Kellis Cougars for going on the road and still fighting and keeping this a game, because they shouldn't have been in it. They got themselves in it, and now it's a different game moving forward.
Most definitely. Definitely curious to see how the second half of this game is going to pan out in just 12 short minutes here with the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Christopher Zavios along with Quentin Presley. Don't go anywhere as we take a break for halftime.
Arizona Wildcats had 2 straight home wins to start off the season. While their second victory didn't come easy as they overcame a slow start to beat the NAU Lumberjacks 22-10. Actually, it was arguably one of the worst offensive performances from the Wildcats in recent years, with just 55 passing yards in the first 2 quarters. Also, they were 0 for 10 on third down and only gained 147 yards before the break. But it was a tale of 2 halves as Arizona opened the scoring and never looked back. UA rallied from the halftime deficit by outscoring the Lumberjacks 16-0 in the second half. Friday, the Wildcats will hit the road for the first time, taking on Big 12 Conference foe Kansas State in a non-conference game. Kansas State also escaped with a 34-27 road victory over Tulane in Week 2. Same as UA, they struggled throughout the first half but turned things around in the second, erasing the double-digit deficit and got a W. Apparently, the two top 25 teams surprisingly faced stiff challenges last week, but they'll look to pick up their first win against each other since 1978. Both teams have strong offensive firepower, so it's gonna be a tough matchup. If one of them can come up with a few key stops at the very beginning of the game, their offense should do enough to flip momentum and give them the advantage. For Arizona, they are also aiming to extend their winning streak to 10, including 7 from last year. With number 10 Michigan's loss to third-ranked Texas last week, now the Wildcats have the longest active winning streak in college football. And their 9 straight wins are already tied for the longest one in program history. With Arizona on a winning streak and Kansas State being one of the favorites in the Big 12, we can consider this matchup an early game of the year. Stella Tai with the Varsity Sports Show.
Arizona 3A football is well underway as we are now into week 4 of the season for most of these teams. Now that the rust has been shaken off, this is where we find out who the contenders and pretenders are in 3A. The first big-time matchup on spooky Friday the 13th is the Arcadia Titans versus the Benjamin Franklin Chargers. Both teams are coming into this game undefeated so far in the early parts of the season, but with much to prove in this game. Arcadia barely escaped with a win last week against Walden Grove, and they're looking to bounce back in a convincing way this week. Benjamin Franklin has routed all 3 of their opponents by an average of 36 points so far this season, and they don't want to get tripped up by the Titans. I like this matchup, and I think it could be a barn burner. The next matchup that caught my eye was the ALA West Foothills Guardians versus the Peoria Panthers. The Guardians are 3-0 on their young season and have only allowed 6 points so far. They are going up against a 4A squad in the Panthers this week, and it could be a tough test. Peoria is coming off a loss to Raymond S. Kellis, so they are looking to feast on the lower division opponent. With a win over the Panthers, the Guardians will undoubtedly be one of the top-ranked 3A teams in Arizona. I'm Jay Screenkey for Varsity Sports, and this has been your 3A football preview.
Hi everyone, my name is Bella Casey from the Varsity Sports Show reporting on the Cactus Shadows football team. This year, the Falcons have a tough schedule, going against teams like Sunnyside, Boulder Creek, ALA Gilbert, Desert Mountain, and Notre Dame Prep. Some of the key players to watch out for are quarterback Donovan Dixon, who has been responsible for 6 touchdowns so far this season and has 351 passing yards so far this year. Another player to look out for this year is senior running back Jake King, who has had 6 rushing touchdowns and was named Player of the Game against Camelback. Lastly, senior defensive end Cole Mays, who was named Player of the Game against West Point and has the most tackles on the defensive line this year. The Falcons have been off to a great start this year, securing wins against Camelback and West Point, and hopefully this will continue a trend to defeat other teams the coming season. Last year, the team went 5-8, losing against Boulder Creek, Higley, Desert Mountain, ALA Gilbert North, Notre Dame Prep, and Horizon. These games this year are going to be key factors in showing the Falcons' improvement and growth during the off-season and how the team has refined its strategies. Thank you for watching, and once again, I'm Bella Casey from the Varsity Sports Show, and this was a report on the Cactus Shadows football team.
I'm Jesse Davis from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. We once again have a full slate of high school boys 6A division football games this week, with some big matchups, including the Brophy Prep Broncos, who sit at 2-0, led by head coach Jason Jewell. A standout for the Broncos this far has been junior wide receiver Devin Fitzgerald, who has 4 receiving touchdowns on the season and is averaging 67.5 receiving yards per game, as the Broncos are on the road to take on the Centennial Coyotes, who are looking to get their first win of the season. The Horizon Huskies stay at home again this week to face the Raymond S. Kelly Cougars, in a game where both teams are looking to get their 3rd straight win of the season. The Huskies, led by head coach Tyson Ditmore, have several game changers, including junior middle linebacker Gage Lee, who's averaging 7 tackles per game. The Mountain View Mesa Toros, led by head coach Andy Litton, are on the road this week, taking on the Liberty Lions. The Toros offense will look to get things going early on the arm of junior quarterback Brady Goodman, who in 2 games this season has completed 28 of 32 attempts for 380 yards and 4 touchdowns. Both of these teams will
Hello
be
everyone,
looking to
this is
improve their
Saleh Awad
record
with the
to
Varsity
3-0.
Sports Show.
The Saguaro Sabercats are on the road again this time, facing off against the Basha Bears. The Sabercats, led by head coach Darius Kelly, will look to get their first win of the season by leaning on senior running back Elias Johnson, who is averaging 4.2 yards per carry on the ground this season. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Jesse Davis.
Hello everyone, I am Mason Byers, a student at Arizona State University, and today I'm reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Today I wanted to talk about some of the key matchups that we have in Arizona high school football this week, more specifically the 5A conference. We have a couple of key matchups that I think y'all should look out for and what the outcomes mean for both teams. Today I'm going to be talking about how Poston View, the Broncos, are hosting the Campo Verde Coyotes in week 3. Both teams started their season with a 1-1 record, and both teams are looking to improve to be over 500. The Broncos and the Coyotes both started their season 0-1, but in week 2 they both got a win over their opponents. This
Hello
is a huge
everyone, this is
game
Saleh
for both
Awad
of
with the
these
Varsity
teams, as
Sports
it is
Show. I
early
want
in
to
the
thank you
season
all
and
for
they do not want to fall behind in the 5A conference. If the Coyotes move to 2-1, that is a great start for their season, as they are on a 2-game winning streak. Is the Higley Knights going into the Marana Tigers territory in order to face off against each other? This is going to be a huge game in the 5A conference. Marana Tigers stand at 2-0 and are trying to prove to people that they are a legit contender for the state championship this year. With a win over the back-to-back defending champions, Higley Knights, that would do so, and people would start fearing them. As for the back-to-back defending 5A champions, the Higley Knights are trying to start a dynasty. With a win over another 2-0 team, the Higley Knights would again be a favorite to win the 5A championship this year. These are some great matchups to look out for this weekend. I am Mason Byers, and I'm reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello everyone, this is Saleh Awad with the Varsity Sports Show. I want to thank you all for tuning in. With the high school football season officially underway and teams having played a couple games already, I will be looking at the current top 3 ranked 4A teams in the state and how their season has gone thus far. Currently ranked number 1 in the 4A according to Max Preps are the Eastmark Firebirds. Eastmark opened its season with a 12-3 victory against Canyon del Oro, followed by a 2-0 loss to the Combs Coyotes. After winning the 3A championship in 2023 and being brought up to the 4A, they will look to get back on track in the conference and solidify this ranking with new head coach Jason Lyons from Hamilton. Coming in at number 2 are the UMEC Catholic Shamrocks. The Shamrocks could very easily be declared the top team in the 4A. They are 2-0 thus far and have outscored their opponents 80-13 through 2 games. This team dominated all of last season, going undefeated before losing to Canyon del Oro in the 4A championship game by just 1 score. UMEC Catholic will look to continue this dominant level of play and potentially overcome last season, coming out on top of the conference. Ranked number 3 as of right now are the defending 4A champions, Canyon del Oro Dorados. While the Dorados did open their season with a loss, they responded with a dominant Week 2 victory against the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. Canyon del Oro remain the team to beat in the 4A and are attempting to go back-to-back as champions this season. Varsity Sports Show, this is Saleh Awad reporting.
What's going on? This is Cooper Holman from the Varsity Sports Show, here to give you a preview between the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks and the Utah Tech Trailblazers. Northern Arizona comes off a 22-10 loss to ranked Arizona, marking their first loss of the season. Despite a low-scoring first half, Northern Arizona found themselves heading into the locker room with a 10-6 lead, but remained scoreless for the rest of the game. Quarterback Ty Pennington performed well in the season opener against the Lincoln Oaklanders, going 8 for 10 passing for over 100 yards and scoring 2 touchdowns. But in the matchup against Arizona, we did not see a lot of the same as the Northern Arizona offense struggled as a whole, and quarterback Ty Pennington, he failed to score a touchdown. NAU's defense has been lights out to start the season, and defensive back Alex McLaughlin is a huge reason why. With 18 tackles and a sack to begin the season, look for McLaughlin to be flying around in the secondary. On the other side, Utah Tech is seeking their second ever win against a Big Sky opponent. Their only win came against Northern Arizona last season in a 50-36 win on the road. This season, the Lumberjacks will head to St. George for their matchup and maybe a little revenge from last season's defeat. Utah Tech's last outing wasn't particularly close as they lost to the UNLV Rebels in a 72-14 affair. Utah Tech is looking to play a more competitive game against a team they beat before. Players to look out for on Utah Tech's side would be quarterback Deacon Hill, the redshirt junior who threw for a season-high 188 yards and 2 touchdowns in the matchup against UNLV. And on the defensive side, linebacker Spencer Rich, who led the defense with 12 tackles in last week's game. Northern Arizona will look to get back into the win column on Saturday night and secure the revenge win against Utah Tech. This has been Cooper Holman from the Varsity Sports Show, giving you a preview to the Northern Arizona matchup against Utah Tech. See you guys next time.
And we are back here with the Varsity Sports Show live at Horizon High School with a 20-14 game here between Horizon and Kellis, with Horizon in the lead. I am Christopher Zavaios alongside with Quentin Presley here with quite the assemble of a team here with the Varsity Sports Show. Quentin, what are you expecting to see so far? As you can see us here in the camera frame, what are you expecting to see so far in the second half?
Well, luckily for our viewers, you have 2 fine grown men at the helm,
Yes,
ready to
do.
lead you into the second half.
They absolutely do.
On a serious note, I'm excited for the second half. It kind of seemed like both teams owned a quarter, right? Horizon owned the first, Kellis owned the second, with Horizon able to squeeze 3 points out at the end. I'm really thinking that Horizon is going to take that halftime momentum, go into the locker room, got the message from the coach, and dominate here in the third quarter.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a little bit of fire from the Horizon side in this game, as you know, as you said, it was a tale of 2 quarters as Horizon dominated the first quarter, owning a 17-0 lead at the turn of the quarter, and then Kellis just came roaring into 14 unanswered points until the last second where they kicked a field goal. A lot of penalties that set up that first score, a lot of penalties that fizzled out drives for Horizon. So Coach Ditmore did not look too pleased with his team coming out of the first half. So gotta wonder if they're gonna be have a little fire lit under them coming into the second half.
I couldn't agree more. And I mean, like we said earlier, both these teams are undefeated, and it's not playing like Horizon wants. Horizon's not playing like they want to stay undefeated. In order to remain and go 3-0, they need to play, like you said, a little bit of fire under that behind and really ignite their offense. Stay disciplined on defense. We can't preach it enough. They have to be able to know the sets, not go off sides, not mess up the kicker. You can't touch the kicker after he kicks the kick.
Yep.
So they do that. I think they really separate themselves from this Cougar squad.
Most definitely, as we are under 1 minute away from the second half, as Horizon looks to collect themselves and get a last word in before they get the second half going. A lot of things I want to see cleaned up, especially the penalties, but I don't want to see that offensive efficiency being maintained as far as Horizon's operation goes. You know, I've given praise to their NASCAR, as some programs like to call it, operation, where they just keep going, a lot of quick game throws, but they're really trying to establish the run game, which has worked, with Jace Ashley getting away for a couple big runs, and Bodie Zamorano doing Bodie Zamorano things with a lot of big carries. But a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. But I want to see the efficiency on offense on all fronts to be a glaring element of their game so far. And as far as defensively, I think Coach Ditmore said it that they just need to settle down. They've kind of just allowed Kellis to execute. Of course, penalties haven't really helped out. But we're gonna get a look at them early on in this half. They keep showing off a lot of blitzes. They are getting in the face of Ronald Cody III, the quarterback of Kellis, but he's made a lot of off-schedule plays. Definitely a get your popcorn ready for the second half is as how I would say that. As the teams are getting ready to take the fields, we're getting ready for the kick.
It sure is going to be exciting. And I think that's such an important factor that you state is with efficiency. This Horizon team is so lethal with all their assets they have at the wide receiver, at the RB, at their tight end. I mean, with their Colorado State commit, right? Jackson, he's an elite player as well that they could get going. If they're able to make completions, keep pushing the ball forward, and not commit any penalties, that's the difference in this game. I mean, they had the most beautiful drive with time manipulation that I've seen in a high school football game, and they ruined it at the last second by getting the ball moved back from the 12 all the way to the 32.
Absolutely, yeah. Penalties were their burden in the first half, and they look to clean it up as the kick is just about ready to be sent off. Again, pretty packed house here for here at Horizon for this game here tonight. I was here last week, and definitely a bigger crowd than last week as the student section is out in full form. As it looks like they have I want to guess a neon theme here tonight, as there's a lot of bright green and pink as the kick is off, and it's going to be a big boot here by Podwika. Fielded inside the 5-yard line. He's going to be fielded, and it's going to be taken up right up the middle. He's going to bounce out to the outside and have some room. And he's going to cross the 30 as he's going to be finally brought down approaching the 35-yard line. And that is some ideal field position for this Kellis offense led by their quarterback, RC3, Ronald Cody III.
That was a player that we pointed out earlier in the pregame, right? David Bedoya. There's a reason why he's top 10 in kick return yards per game. It's there. He's able to find the holes and really make his way up the field without getting touched. Right there, got brought down at the 36.
And very curious to see how their quarterback, RC3, Ronald Cody III, is going to come out this second half. He took a big hit towards the end of that half, right before their second score, as it's going to be a penalty, possibly a false start. He was able to come back, but his helmet flew right off on that hit. Definitely a scary situation. Glad he was able to bounce back, as it's going to be a false start penalty to back them up 5 before this operation can get going. But glad to see him bounce back, especially with concussions or big hits being a topic of discussion this week with Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa going down last night. But glad to see him bounce back, but very curious to see how this Kellis offense is going to come out. It looked like they were coming out for a pass play before it was shut down.
Yeah. Nothing more tragic than injuries, but there's something sweet about getting knocked down hard and coming back up and responding.
And it looks like they're going to have a jet motion. It's going to be a play action pop pass. Is going to be batted down. Oof, very hands-on play by the Horizon defense, as if he was going to connect that pop pass, that was likely going to go to the crib. But they resort to a 2nd and 15 play here for the Cougars.
Yeah, this Cougar squad really likes to get a little fancy, and they make some nervous passes. That would have been, like you said, one taken to the crib, but Horizon had the doors locked.
Definitely. A lot of quick throws here, a lot of RPO game. It's going to be a play action pass. And they're going to go right back to that on a little bit of a skinny post just off the hands of his intended target. And he went down on that play, pushed down on that play at the tail end of it. Again, testament to the pressure that Horizon has been bringing. Again, 3-man front. They like to bring backers off the edge. They like to drop down their free safety, Colton Becker, off the edge, bring a lot of pressure, a lot of overload blitzes in the first half. Definitely a very momentum swinging 3rd and 15 play, I would say, coming up here.
I think you would be absolutely right. RC3, I like the balls he's throwing. There's some good balls. They're going right into that little pocket for the receiver. They're just not able to get there in time.
And it's gonna do another sprint bootleg pass play. It's gonna be an awkward throw, just a little short of his target, but there is a penalty flag on the play, as it looked like there was a little bit of A little bit of action at the right before that ball hit the ground, but the flag was waved, so no penalty on that play. So it'll be a 4th and 15. Big break there from Horizon, who I'm pretty sure got an earful for their amount of penalties in the halftime conversation with Coach Tyson Ditmore.
Yeah, just for their eardrum durability, it's pretty good that they got that flag taken out, or else that would be another earful that they'd be receiving probably after this drive.
Could have been a pass interference call, but a lot of coaches were waving the fact that it was tipped, which happened to be the case. So the flag was waved off for their sake, as it looks like number 2, Adam Wagner, is going to be ready to field this punt here. And punting has been a questionable aspect of Kellis' game, as he's going to send it right off. And that's a good punt right there. A lot of sky kicks, as Wagner's going to field it just before the 35-yard line. It's going to be a big return. He's going to find some room, and it's going to be a prime field position for the Huskies just before the 30-yard line of Kellis into the plus territory. Very quiet return. Didn't really look like he was having that much trouble getting that far down the field.
Yeah, I mean, he just stepped on that gas pedal, right? Saw the open lane and just went. And he kind of caught that kick in stride, which I thought that was huge for that kick return. If he wasn't there in time, it could have gone to the left, could have gone to the right. Caught it right off the bounce. Took that for a good 15 yards.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to bring them right up to just before the 30, about the 33-yard line. I want to see, just on the 33-yard line for this offensive operation for Horizon. It's going to be a motion to their tight end. And guess who? Bodie Zamorano right up the middle, setting up a little bit of that wham block action with their true tight end, Jax Markovich, for a big gain of about maybe 5 yards on that play.
Yeah, we're going to really get a chance to see if Horizon is more disciplined on offense. See if they're going to take that more advantage of that wham action and really get going for some yards to gain.
And it looks like they're going to go right back to that, as they're going to use it to the opposite side. And it's going to be right up the middle to Zamorano for a gain of about 3 on the play to set up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to him again. He's been stellar this game, really taking advantage of most of his carries.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a 3rd and short, and they are already back lined up for the next play. True testament to that NASCAR-style offense that they like to run. It's going to be an outside zone to, guess who? Zamorano, roaring past the 20-yard line for the 1st down. Very easy pickup there by the Huskies.
The narrative's simple, Chris. Block, give me the ball, we're going. Get out of my way. Zamorano is going to take this team into the promised land, which is, we have the coordinates on that. It's the Horizon end zone.
Absolutely, and it's going to be another handoff to Zamorano, who is going to rumble just up past the 15-yard line, and he's finally brought down for another big gain there for the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're in the red zone. They have a good chance to score here. This would be big moving forward.
And Ashley's going to line up under saddle. It looks to be a bootleg, and he's going to throw his tight end underneath. A very, very scary throw. Just a little high there for his tight end. Could have been picked off if the defender was in prime position, but luckily for Ashley's sake, he was not, as he did have that interception in the first drive of the game.
Yeah, I mean, easily could have been another one right there. Like you said, I mean, he overthrew his tight end, which would have been a great play, and Cougars almost grabbed it.
And it's going to be a jet sweep play there to their slot receiver. I want to say that is going to be number 3, Jordan Partridge. First time his name is called here tonight, for a gain of just a few, bringing up a 1st down and goal for the Huskies, as they're knocking on the door early in this second half.
When you're scared of Zamorano, here comes my man right here for a first down of the game. It has got his name called, but it doesn't matter. That's how deep this Horizon team is.
Absolutely, and it's another wham play there right up the middle to Zamorano for a gain of a few, knocking inside the 5-yard line.
I mean, right now they're really just pushing it down the Cougars' throats right here and seeing if they're going to do something about it.
Definitely an aspect of the game you want. It's going to be a short sprint to the long side of the field into the end zone, and just a little high for his receiver Partridge, incomplete. Just a little too much mustard on that throw by Ashley.
Chris, I might have to wipe my eyes. I don't see Victor Wembanyama in the end zone. He really needs to keep the height on those passes down.
Absolutely, yeah. As Partridge is going to be a slot receiver, as he's only standing at about 5'10", 165. So definitely not of Wemby height for sure, as they're going to line up here for this 3rd down and goal. 2 receivers on each side of the field, going to jet motion Partridge over, and it's going to be another jet sweep to Partridge for a gain, and he's going to be in for the score. But there is a penalty flag on the play, so hang on. Very nice design there by the Horizon Huskies, and it's looking like maybe a hold is being motioned. So hang on, this might be coming right back.
My goodness, I mean, way to go for Partridge right there. Like we said, didn't get his name called all first half, but there we go. We got the first down there, and then he took that nice play and really made something out of it, got into the end zone. However, we don't know what the call is going to be.
As we're waiting for the call, it is going to be against Horizon here. And yep, that touchdown is going to come right back. It's going to be right back to a 3rd down play for the Huskies. Definitely a tough break, and definitely one that was a story for them in the 2nd quarter. But they're going to line up again and try and get into the end zone. This trips over top as Ashley is just going to take it himself, and he's going to be in for the score. And I don't see any flags on that play, so that is a touchdown, Huskies. Big response to start off that 3rd quarter, boosting their lead for another 6.
I mean, Ashley, another rushing touchdown. Back-to-back games with 2 rushing touchdowns or more. He is a threat when it comes to running down the field.
Most definitely, and definitely a heads-up play, as it looked like that pass play was not going to be there, as he just ran it in himself, as Palmer Podwika is going to be set to send this PAT off to boost this lead to a possible 27-14 advantage, and that is going to be up and good. 27-14 Huskies with 8:40 left in the 3rd.
I mean, yeah, that's a great way to respond. Really start off this first half with a big bang. 27-14, like you just said. The Cougars, let's see if they could bring some more offensive production into this 3rd quarter like they did previously in the 2nd. RC3 is really going to need to make something happen quick.
Most definitely, as Horizon is going to send their defense out after Palmer Podwika sends out this kick. The first drive for the Cougars in the first half just, really stalled out. A couple pass plays that just weren't there connecting, but maybe a testament to their 36.8% completion percentage on the season. Maybe they can get that going. They've done a lot of quick throws. You remember that RPO smoke screen alert play that took them set them up in prime position for their first score of the game, but definitely curious to see how they're going to come out. Their run game has been pretty tame so far, but this defensive front by Horizon, so very curious how this outing's going to go for the Cougars.
And I mean, like we said, that completion percentage is a little bit low, but you got to remember, these players are playing both sides of the ball, and it's really interesting to see their duration, their durability move on into these later quarters.
As that is going to be a big kick, and it's going to be fielded at about the 1-yard line, and it will be taken. And there is another penalty on the play as he's going to cross the 30, going to have some room crossing the 40, the 45, 50 into Horizon territory, and it looks like he had a little bit of a face mask towards the end of that play.
Yeah, definitely a face mask grab right there. And wow, another great run from David Bedoya, the team's #1 go-to guy when it comes to kick returns.
As we wait for this call here on the play, but it definitely looked like a face mask at the tail end of it, but there was a flag thrown back by the 18-yard line, so we might have a few penalties to look at here.
Everyone's throwing laundry in the bin. I mean, what happens there if you just go off the first called penalty?
I think it's just whichever one. If it's on one on each team, then they'll probably offset. If it's 2 on one team, then it's up to one team to accept one and decline the other. So
Okay.
Curious situation of what we're facing here as a prime position for Kellis here, as they look like they crossed about the 45-yard line on that return.
Yeah.
So a penalty on them could be back them right back up into their own territory as we wait for the call.
I mean, not only does a good kick returner need to have speed, IQ on where to go and which holes to find, but there are some great blocks there from the Cougars' offensive side of things, really opening up those holes for Bedoya to get in there and make a push down into enemy territory.
Most definitely, as it looked like it was going to be a block in the back on Kellis, but a face mask on Horizon. So offsetting penalties here to start off this Kellis drive. And very unfortunate as that return brought them all the way up to the 45. So it's going to back them all the way up to their own territory at about the 20-yard line.
That's a shame, but it's okay. You got some momentum moving forward. Got a good run. Legs are feeling nice. Let's see what RC3 can do at the helm.
Most definitely got to see what pressure looks that Horizon is going to demonstrate here. We've seen a lot of overload blitzes, a lot of crossfire blitzes, which is where the two backers like to cross into the opposite A gap on each side. They brought a lot of backers off the edge. Their free safety number 10, Colton Becker, has come off the edge. So Kellis is going to come out with a trip set underneath. And it looks like they're going to send pressure over top. And that's going to be a wide open lane for a big sack there. Sniffed right out there by Bo Caliendo, who I would say has the best face mask on the field here, as it looks like a player is going to be down on the field after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see that a player fall down like that, but I mean, there's a reason. These Horizon guys really hit hard. And I mean, when you're getting blindsided from a man that knows how to pack a punch, it will really send you down.
And it looks like Bo Caliendo got a little bit of a cramp on that play too, as he's just getting stretched out real quick on the Horizon sideline. But definitely a testament to what I was just saying about them bringing pressure off the edge. They like to bring a lot of pressure looks. They like to bring a lot of pressure on different sides of the ball, but definitely off his backside or to the weak side, as you would say, offensively. Very nice play. Well done there by Caliendo.
Well, right now where we're at is 2nd and 19, 2nd and 17, I believe. What do you think the Cougars got to do to get this first down?
I definitely want to keep picking at that, 2nd and 19. I mean, you still have 2 more tries there, as looks like they're going to get ready to take the field here again. But definitely maybe want to establish some run game. They've passed a lot within their first drive and this drive, especially even at the tail end of the first half. But they've worked a lot of RPOs so far in this game, so maybe they'll work on some of that. But very curious to see what they're going to do as this offense is going to trot out.
Yep, they are now lining up. And I really like how you point out the formations. I think it really gives the viewers a good grasp on what type of plays they will run and what plays they end up running.
As Caliendo is going to be late onto the field, but he is able to make it out there, as this Kellis operation is going to be backed up to the inside the 15-yard line. And Caliendo is going to come fresh off the edge again, but he's going to be blocked this time. It's going to be a big throw, and it is nowhere, no Kellis receiver in sight. Maybe a little miscommunication there, but it's going to be out of bounds to set up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I mean, really got some air under that one. Has a bullet for an arm, but like there was definitely a miscommunication there as one person stopped and the ball didn't. So 3rd and 17, they're going to need something big here in order to keep continuing this drive.
As it looks like it's going to be their backup quarterback number 14, Roman Luna, here in for the Kellis Cougars, as they're going to line up with 2 receivers on each side, as they're going to have Colton Becker and Bo Caliendo come on both edges, but he's going to creep up, and he still has his eyes downfield, but he's just going to run out of bounds, prompting a 4th down.
There wasn't much there on that possession, right? The play didn't really open up as I bet the Cougars wanted it to, and like you said, the backup QB was in. So not a really great drive right there. Gets ate up pretty quickly, and Horizon's going to get the ball back again. And this could be the type of moment where we said earlier in the second half, preview of the second half, this game could separate.
Most definitely, as they have number 3, Jordan Partridge, out on the return, I want to say. I'm sorry, that is the Dem Wagner again. As the punt is getting ready to be sent off here. Pretty good punt the last time. It's going to be sent off and almost blocked, as the punter looked to try and sell it, maybe to bait a flag, but the return is going to break through past the 30. He's got some room, crossing the 20. Only the punter to stop him. Inside the 5, he's going to walk right in for the big punt return touchdown. Dem Wagner, big response there, and a great capitalization by the Horizon Huskies.
Nice call there. Did you see that flag by chance? Is that going to Is that going to be a penalty?
Story of the game for Horizon that looks to be a penalty on the play. So hang on. We might have a change of plans here for the Horizon offensive operation. It looks like they're getting in the huddle, preparing to take the field, negating the big punt return touchdown for Adem Wagner, and definitely crushing to see for him, as that was definitely going to be a game changing punt return there.
I mean, in this aspect of the world in sports, whatever the Zebras say is law. So we're going to see what they have to say and what order they'll be able to put in. But da-na-na, da-na-na, what a run there from Wagner.
Most definitely. The punt return has been pretty electric so far, providing them with good field position, as that penalty will indeed be on Horizon. So the offense will take the field here with Jace Ashley and this offensive operation of Horizon. But yeah, definitely a ESPN top 10 worthy punt return there, as before my eyes, I thought he was going to go down here across the 30, but he just exploded into the end zone. That poor punter honestly didn't see what was coming. Didn't see what was coming at him, as Wagner walked right in, but it did not count due to the personal foul penalty on Horizon.
That's why you want to have a dog as your punter as well, right? Get someone that can also lay out the kick returner if need be.
Their punter's a pretty big guy, as they're going to have Partridge come in for the jet sweep again. He's going to find some room, and he's going to get a big gain, and he's going to push towards the first down, but yet another flag on the play, so hang on.
I really think that we could cover this whole green turf field in yellow if we laid out all the flags that were thrown out today.
You see a lot of memes thrown around, at least I see on Twitter, of the penalty flags that are all over the field. So this game is definitely applicable for that. But as we wait for the call, it's going to be a block in the back on Horizon. So yet another penalty to their seemingly high penalty tab here tonight. So Coach Ditmore probably brought it up at halftime. Couple penalties so far in the second half, so gotta fear for them in practice this week. Maybe tomorrow when they come in this in the morning for film, and maybe a little bit of a running workout before that.
Hey, if I'm on the bench and my team's racking up this match on the tab, I think I'm gonna have a stomach ache tomorrow for practice.
Most definitely, I am maybe gonna pass on in and out after the game tonight, as the run is gonna be a gain of a couple on the play, as it's gonna send Horizon up to the 30-yard line.
Just got to listen to one David Goggins video and you're ready to go. Just take that shirt off and go run.
Most definitely. As Horizon's going to take over on the 30-yard line, 2nd and 14. Ashley's going to take another dumb slip screen pass to guess who? Zamorano, who's going to roar past the 15-yard line. And knock, knock, here comes Horizon into the red area.
Yeah, no, that was a great reception there. And for some extra yak, Zamorano took it up the field, and really, they're putting themselves in constant position to score.
Definitely interesting slip screen design there by Horizon. I brought up earlier the newly implemented, or what is kind of breaking out into the college football world this year, is known as the Sark screen, which is kind of a bootleg what Horizon likes to do, but he's not really fully turning into the bootleg, just kind of fading his drop back into the opposite side of the field before that slip screen. So a little bit of a modification, as he's going to be stopped on a QB keeper here by Jace Ashley for a gain of maybe 1 on the play.
At least they didn't lose some there. It really looked like Kellis had a good eye on what they were doing and was able to put a stop to it quick.
Definitely something you ask your defensive ends to do, is contain the outsides, which was beautifully done there by Kellis, as Horizon is already lined up again with 5:50 left in the third quarter, excuse me. As it's going to be a play action, but yep, we have flags here on the field, so hang on, folks.
How about another one, right? Another one.
The famous words of LeBron, here's 2 more for you.
If you think that you haven't seen enough, here's 2 more.
Here's 2 more for you. As that false start's going to back them up 5 yards. All the way up to approaching the 20-yard line here for Horizon.
If you want to hear more update with the hip-hop slang, check into Varsity Sports week in and week out for some football broadcasts.
Most definitely. Sprinkle some in the broadcast here and there, Definitely applicable. As it's going to be a short run there for Horizon there, coming up on a 3rd down here, as it's going to be placed at about maybe the 15-yard line here. Three receivers underneath, one over top. He has a running back next to him. It's going to take the snap, drop back, and it's going to be a quick throw. And that's going to be incomplete, broken up, intended for number 11, Jake Garrod, which would have put them at about the goal line. So here comes the field goal unit to try.
That was a great opportunity at a touchdown catch. I believe that would have counted as a touchdown if his feet were in. But Kellis again, really reading the play and noticing where it's going to go, and they were able to put a stop to it.
Very nice defensive stand, but again, penalties really fizzle out the drive there for Horizon. Kind of in the story of the game as Podwika is going to kick the the field goal, and it's going to be good to tack on another three with 5:06 left in the third quarter, boosting the score to 30-14 in favor of Horizon.
It's a two-possession game. Kellis is getting another grab at it, but it's kind of like when they were in the situation that they were in the first quarter, right? It's a two-score game. Horizon's really doing a good job of just getting points every time they're on. They need to produce some points now, or it's going to be scary later.
The response is going to be questionable here for Kellis, as you see Coach Ditmore on your screens there. As we said earlier, got to fear for this Horizon team as penalties keep on stacking up coming into the half. I got to say too, this officiating crew has really been on top of their game as far as catching penalties, which have seen a surge compared to the past 2 weeks for Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, slowly but surely it's been racking up in the tabs, and yeah, I mean, Horizon, they're a great team. They got a lot of different options when it comes to offense and defense, but that is probably their biggest weakness from week 2 and in week 3 currently with the penalties.
Yeah, it has unfortunately probably become the aspect of the game that I harp on. Week 1, it was the quick game offense of Horizon. Last week was the special teams performance, which was stellar last week for Horizon. And this week, unfortunately, happens to be the penalties, as it's seen quite a few opportunities fizzle out for Horizon due to them, as Podwika is getting ready to send this kickoff to give the ball back to Kellis. I mean, penalties aside, too, I mean, what a response, or at least getting something out of that drive for Horizon, as it looked like they were going to approach the 10-yard line inside of the red zone, but they were able to squeeze out 3 points, so you never really want to leave points on the board. As the kick is off, there's going to be a big boot again into the end zone for a touchback, placing Kellis at a 20-yard line starting point for this next drive.
That's something that Horizon does very well. I mean, let alone the penalties. They've been able to make sure that they don't leave the points on the board. They take their 3 whenever they can, whenever they fizzle out, when the end zone becomes unfeasible to get. They do make sure they send in their guy, and they get their 3. So you got to respect that. But Kellis has a chance to make something happen here. What do you think? How big this drive is, Chris?
It is definitely a big drive as far as the game goes for Kellis, as it looks like Caliendo is going to be coming off the edge again. But Ronald Cody III is back out there after going down in that last drive. Second time he went down in this game. He's eaten a few big hits. The second one was delivered by Bo Caliendo, who was coming off the edge again. But good to see him back out there.
You know, all the toughest guys I know, the bruises, the scratches they get, they've accumulated over the years. They call them story marks, right? They want to be able to tell their kids back in the day, I was a tough guy. They would say that my man RC3 is going to tell his grandchildren, I played Horizon on Friday Night Lights, and I beat him at home after being banged up twice.
Most definitely, very show of resilience there by their quarterback, Ronald Cody III, as they're going to come out in the bunch formation. It's going to be an outside zone play, and he's going to cut up for a gain of just about a few as he is swallowed up by that defensive front. And another aspect of the defensive game there by Horizon, 11 hats to the ball, which is preached by a lot of football programs, should be all football programs, but very well done there by the defense.
Maybe I got ahead of myself of foretelling this man's future. Let's focus on the game first, see if they can make this a game.
Most definitely. The defense has been sound as it's going to come up to a 3rd and 3 here. Big third down here for Kellis. Maybe they can be able to respond as they have a 2-by-2 set, as the snap is going to be bobbled there. He's going to just throw it off of his back foot. It's going to be incomplete, nearly picked off by number 10, Colton Becker, who is not too pleased that he wasn't able to come down with that interception.
with another snap, just not going where it needed to be. It disrupts the play into a position where RC3 has to make an off-balance throw. Was still able to get into a decent spot, but it ultimately traces back to a snap that went off target.
And that just fizzles out for Kellis to boot the ball away to Adem Wagner, who had a punt return called back. But Horizon's going to get the ball back with 3:41 left in the third quarter, up 30-14. A score here could prove the game in their favor. It's going to be a wide kick towards the sideline, and it's just going to roll out of bounds. A very, very nice choice there by the Kellis punter on that punt.
Yeah, no, very well done punt there. Got it as far as he could. Got it out of bounds. They're going to be able to get their defense a chance to reset and walk in for this huge defensive possession.
And Jace Ashley and this offense is going to take the field here at about the 35-yard line. Very curious to see if they're going to start or if they're going to continue to lean on the run game. We saw a couple pass plays from them the last time. Maybe setting up a wham block there as we see the tight end line up as a wing. Markovich is going to motion over. It's going to be a handoff to guess who. Bodie Zamorano is going to roar right up the middle for a gain of about 8 or 9 on that play. Another commanding run there by the Horizon running back.
He's doing such a great job at pushing and just pushing down the field. Kellis isn't really pushing back. And when you're up 2 scores, you have time on your side. Why not keep running the ball down the throat?
And this time it is going to be Johnny Issett as Bodie Zamorano is going to be checked out of the game. But Johnny Issett, who I said is a very hard runner, is going to rumble all the way up to the 41-yard line of Kellis. So again, in the plus territory for Horizon, he's going to stick out there as they come out in a 2x2 set. And Ashley's going to get the snap, and he's going to run a read option again, and he's just going to dive right to the ground for no gain, as that was almost thwarted by the defensive end of Kellis.
Do you think he could have possibly beat the defensive end right there across the right hand of the sideline?
It was possible probably, but I mean, you're up 30-14, 2:52 left in the third. Take care of yourself and not take a chance. Yeah, make a business decision and just slide down for no gain. Definitely a valid choice there by Ashley.
Yeah.
As they're going to motion over Partridge again, jet motion to bring a 3x1 set, and he's going to check Issett right next to him, and it's going to be a run to Issett for a gain of about 1 or 2 on the play. Very nice job there by the Kellis defensive front.
Yeah, I mean, Issett keeps getting his number called, and he keeps impressing as he comes off the field now for Zamorano.
And Zamorano is going to check back into the field after a few plays off there. Well-deserved, as he has been the workhorse as we come under 2 minutes here in this third quarter. 3x1 set. And Ashley's going to pass it on this play. Very nice throw to Partridge, who's going to be wide open down the sideline into the end zone for another Horizon touchdown.
Man, look at the connection right there as Ashley sprints to his, oh no, don't say it, Chris.
And we have another penalty on the play. And celebrations are not very accepted here in the high school football scene as we wait for the penalty call here, as the PAT unit is still out in the field. So maybe not going to negate the touchdown, but still unnecessary penalty there by Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say next time, I think we should let it sit for 3 seconds, give it a moment of silence, and then we could give a call.
Just dab up your teammate and jog off to the sideline and it's going to be a decline penalty.
There we go.
As we're getting set for the PAT, but definitely not a good stain there on that touchdown play. Very nice ball though by Jace Ashley, finding his receiver Partridge on the sideline to push that outside boundary, as the PAT is going to be up and good by Podwika, but still. Gotta fear for these guys tomorrow morning when they show up for film. At least when I was in high school, we ran the track a couple times before film, so I would imagine the Horizon does the same. Yeah, gotta fear for them in the morning with all these penalties.
But talk about a sweet ball right there. I mean, couldn't have put it better. Partridge just ran his route down the sideline and received a beauty from Ashley. At what point can we say that Horizon's starting to run away with this one?
I got to call back to my man Future on this one. Don't get too comfortable now. 37-14 is quite the lead, but anything can happen. I got to draw back to the NFL a couple years ago when the Colts blew a 36-point lead against Minnesota. They were down 36 at halftime, so they came roaring back and were able to come back and win that game. So anything is possible here, especially in the realm of high school football.
Yeah, I mean, when you're under the bright lights and anything could happen, it's really a dance. But you could say they're on thin ice and they're skating on it. So we could see what this Cougar team can produce with pressure and a knife on them. But it is going to be interesting on this drive.
As Kellis is getting ready to receive the Podwika kick with 1:44 left in the third quarter. Gotta wonder the offensive script for Kellis coming in, as that penalty did count towards the kickoff, so it backed up Horizon's kick just about 5 yards, as the return is going to cross the 50-yard line and give Kellis a pretty favorable field position here with 1:35 left in the third quarter, as RC3 and this offensive operation is going to trot back out here. And they're going to take over at about the 48-yard line of Horizon. So plus starting position here for Kellis.
Yeah, I mean, that penalty definitely had an effect. They got probably 5 yards more than they would have without it. So Cougars about halfway down the field. This is a great opportunity to get back into this game.
And they're going to come out with a 2x2 set, and then they're going to have a wing lined up, and it's going to be a drop back here by Cody the third, who was hit again on that play for an incomplete pass. And again, testament to the pressure brought by Horizon, which is relentless so far in this game, with 1:33 left in the third quarter.
Yep.
Pressure was brought on that play by number 54, Parker Cobb, on that play. And few names on this defense have really made their presence known so far in this game, as it's going to be a 2nd and 10 here for Kellis on the 48-yard line of Horizon. 3-man front, and they're going to bring pressure hopefully in the A gap, and that's going to be exactly where it goes. It's going to be a quick throw over his head, incomplete. Facing another third down there by Kellis, and pretty much ever since the gates opened on this second half, this offense has really hit a roadblock so far for the Cougars.
I mean, it just seemed like that throw was a little bit more than just a little off target. And yeah, I think they're just keep banging into a wall, hoping to bust it down. Hopefully other doors can open around them to really differentiate their plan and their approach to this drive.
Definitely off rhythm so far for RC3 in this Kellis offense, but curious to see what they're going to do here, as they have trips over top, one receiver underneath, as he's going to drop back and he's going to go through his progressions and throw a ball down the sideline right through the hands of his receiver, bringing up a 4th and 10. That one was not on RC3 as far as the throw goes, straight through the hands of his receiver.
Yeah, you got to give credit to RC3 there. What a great pass right over the shoulder. That's what you want as a wide receiver, right? You're going down the sideline, you want to be able to just look over and have it plop right there down in your package. And just went right through the little slot there between his arms.
Right through the bread basket, as they're getting ready for another Kellis punt, so they were not able to capitalize on the field advantage that they had inside of the Horizon territory. But you gotta admire the play caller, admire the trust that the Kellis offense has in their quarterback, as far as calling a deep play, knowing that he's off rhythm. Definitely want to implement some screens, but they go straight down in a kind of a 3 verts play down the sideline. So the punt is going to bounce all the way to about the 10-yard line. Not a bad punt there by Kellis.
Yeah, and with it being 37-14, a little bit of a buck and 8 seconds left in this third quarter. Can they manipulate the clock? I mean, it's not as important as with the second quarter, but they could probably get a lot of yardage with it before the fourth quarter begins.
Absolutely, but this Jace Ashley-led Horizon offense is going to take over kind of back against the wall as they're facing their front door to start off this drive. But very curious to see what they're going to bring out here. Maybe a little bit of quick game could be implemented here in this drive. As they're going to motion, it looks like it's going to be another wham play to Markovich, and that is going to be Zamorano right up the middle, and he's going to be hit hard just before the first down mark for a gain of about 7 or 8.
Yeah, that was a big hit, right? Really put him in his tracks and slow him down before getting more yards.
As we trickle under 1 minute left in the third quarter, here in this third quarter game, as Zamorano is going to check out, which means we get some more Johnny Issett action here. And it's going to be a handoff to Issett, and he's going to rumble right through, and he's going to be hit hard as he crosses the 25-yard line for a first down. Big hit there towards the end.
Issett just proving once and over again like why he is a valuable RB2 in this offense.
Definitely, as he's getting a little bit more of a workload as we go under 30 minutes here, or 30 seconds left in this third quarter, as they're going to motion Markovich over, and it's going to be another handoff to Issett, as they are really harping down on this run game. 2 straight runs to Issett with Zamorano trotting back on the field.
It's kind of funny. It's like Issett really does produce and produces well at a good rate, but they know when it's time to bring back in the top dog.
Most definitely, as the last few seconds here of this third quarter is going to put an end to the third quarter here at Horizon High School. 37-14 advantage for Kellis. Very nice response after a rocky second quarter here by the Horizon Huskies, as they are building up quite the lead here so far in this game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, anything is possible, but the possibility starts to drop down. Like Kellis's completion percentage, I'd say there's not a big chance in them for this game, but there is a whole quarter left to play, so we can see that.
One last frame, and it is just a few minutes away here on the Varsity Sports Show. Don't go anywhere.
My name is Bella Casey, and I am very excited to be one of the new interns for the 2024 fall season. As a person who has grown up playing and watching sports, I know the hard work and determination it takes to be an athlete. So
the fourth quarter is going to get started off with a Bodie Zamorano run. No other way to start off this fourth quarter here at Horizon High School.
I mean, there's 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and Bodie Zamorano pushing down the field for a first down.
Most definitely, as he is going to get, he's going to split his workload now, as it seems, with Johnny Issett, as they are up. Horizon is up 37-14 over the Kellis Cougars with 11:34 left in the fourth quarter, bringing up a 3rd and 4 here for the Huskies, as Issett is going to take the handoff, and he is going to, he's going to lose the ball, and it looks like it's going to be Kellis on top of it. Right into their hands. Kellis is going to take over with now really favorable field position here at about the 36-yard line. So hang on, not a good start to this fourth quarter for Horizon.
There's a reason why they call Future a philosopher of his time. Do not get too comfortable. Reiterated by my man Chris right here. Great field position for this drive from the Kellis Cougars.
Most definitely, as this offensive operation for Kellis is going to take over inside of Horizon territory, as it looks like we may be getting some more Roman Luna action here in this fourth quarter to start off. And I'm sorry, that's going to be a quarterback keeper, as it actually is going to be number 20, Sean Oser, in that quarterback. Number 20 being the number of a quarterback. Not something you really see too often.
No, you do not. What would you think is probably the most used often at the quarterback?
I usually you see a lot of single digits for quarterbacks. I mean, obviously iconic double digits like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Yep.
Double digit quarterbacks. Caleb Williams in the NFL now, he's a double digit quarterback. But usually you stick through 1 through 19 for quarterbacks. So number 20 is definitely one that I haven't seen before. As Oser's going to take the snap again, as he's going to keep it and run outside for another big run, looking really shifty as he's going to approach the first down marker, possibly opening up a 3rd and short.
Looks like he's at the skate park just rolling around on right now as he's skating across the green for a first down.
Most definitely 2 explosive runs there, as the stop is going to be by number 83 of Horizon, Presley Jones, the corner, off the edge with very similar hair to myself, I got to say.
and a similar name to myself.
It's a very similar name to you. So we're catching some relation now here in the booth as we're getting a 3rd and 2 here with 10 minutes left of the game here in Horizon. Possibly bringing pressure off the edge here. Going to be a hard count. Very slow snap as Oster's going to take the snap again, but he is going to be swallowed up by number 6, Nathan Sr. with the stop there, bringing up a 4th down. So Horizon's defense will bend, but definitely not break there on that stand.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't have put it better than that. I mean, not only was the snap slow, it was high. I don't get the miscommunication right here from the center to the QB.
Definitely something you want to get down, as I said. Center snap relationship with the quarterback has to be offense 101, fundamental thing that you get down. But Sean Oser hasn't gotten too many reps in this game, so maybe that could be the reason. As they're going to go for it here on 4th down, as he's actually going to drop back for a pass, but Jackson Murray is going to be right on his tail and bring him down to force the incompletion. And another stop there by the Horizon defense by the Colorado State commit, Jackson Murray. Great play.
I mean, it's why you say don't mess with the pack, right? 4th and 8, shouldn't go for it. Why? Because the pack's coming at you. Great sack right there from the Huskies.
Absolutely, as this Jace Ashley-led unit is going to take the field here, up 37-14 with 9:02 left in the game over the Kellis Cougars. As the offense is going to trot out, they are going to keep their starters in, but number 0, Jackson Murray, is going to trot out there too with the offense. Very curious to see what they're going to bring out here. Maybe we're going to get some more wham action offensively for the Horizon Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that wham action has been very good for them today. Is it safe to say that another score might just be the knife, the holy knife, the dagger in this one?
Possibly, as it's going to be another big run on, you guessed it, a wham run right up the middle for Horizon for a gain of about 7 on that play, 6 on that play. Big run there by Bodie Zamorano, who is still out there, and they're going to line up in a 2x2 set. Jax Markovich lined up as a wing, and it's going to be another split zone play. Zamorano up the middle, rumbles past the 45-yard line for a 1st down.
Just another great run. Horizon keeps going to it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely, and you get to the point of where you knock off another one of those commandments that you have on offense. Own 3rd down, own the clock, gain at least 3 yards per carry, which have all been executed beautifully by Horizon, as they're going to come out in a 3x1 set in pistol formation. Tight end lined up in the slot, and it's going to be a quarterback read option, but he's going to bounce outside. But however, we have another flag on the play.
This hurts every time I hear it, every time I see it. Right here from our bird's nest, where we have the bird's eye view of the football game.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a holding call on Horizon. Kind of ironic that head coach Tyson Ditmore is sporting a yellow long sleeve shirt here for this game, but I'm pretty sure he's not liking all the yellow that he's seeing so far tonight. And I'm going to say it again, I'm really fearing for these guys in practice next week.
And I don't think he meant to I don't think he meant to foreshadow by wearing that yellow shirt.
As they're going to line up again under saddle. Ashley is going to hand it off to, you guessed it, Bodie Zamorano for a gain of a few on the play. And another big gain there by Bodie Zamorano as they are running a lot of clock down with 7:30 left in the 4th quarter. Bringing up 2nd down here for the Huskies.
As long as they keep getting that clock going, ticking down, keep owning and gaining yards, this is going to be an easy one to wrap up for the Huskies.
As he's going to check his running back to get right next to him, and he's going to run the outside zone play, and he's going to stumble approaching the 49-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and possibly 7 yards.
It just seems like no one can take him down. It takes multiple Cougars to be able to drag him and finally get him down and dead on the play.
Most definitely, as the clock is now under 7 minutes here at Horizon High School, with Horizon having a 37-14 lead over the Kellis Huskies, now bringing up a 3rd and 8 with trips over top for Jace Ashley. He's going to hand it off again to Bodie Zamorano, who is going to rumble into Kellis territory for the first down. Another big run there by Zamorano.
I mean, Zamorano moving in a crowded area. Excuse me, I'm going the other way, right? Just taking it up the middle and getting a first down. Or not a first down, I should say, getting some yards.
Most definitely, as it looks like we do have an injured player on the field there, but another testament there to the commitment to the run game, as they're really eating up clock now with just approaching 6 minutes left in the game, but really taking command in the second half. Well done job by Horizon. We're with a couple penalties along the way too, but very nice job there by Horizon.
It's like I like my donuts old fashioned. They like their football games with penalties. Sometimes you gotta sprinkle a little bit more in for drama.
Most definitely. Always got to add to the theatrics of a Friday night here in Arizona, in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I got to say, I know the sun is down now and here as we're getting closer into the nighttime, but I got to say, I like the view here of the Scottsdale skyline here at Horizon High School.
Life sure is sweet, ain't it, Chris?
It is sweet, 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 sweet.
What's very nice about right now in this point of the year in Arizona, it's starting to dip down below triple digits. And being a California native, I am very ecstatic about this.
Being an Arizona native, I got to say, that's definitely creeping into my favorite time of the year for sure, as I've seen far too many triple-digit days in my lifetime, more than probably anybody should experience. But we're getting ready to start this game back off again as Johnny Issett is going to take over for the injured Zamorano on that play. And he's going to get the handoff here on first down to gain of about 5 on that play. Very hard run by Issett.
Hopefully that injury isn't too serious because Horizon's going to need Zamorano this season.
Definitely got to make you think now as we approach 6 minutes left in the game. Got to think about maybe trickling your starters out, but gas. Keep your foot on the gas for sure. If you're Horizon, but 37-14, 5:52 left in the game as we have a 2nd and 5 here, as it's going to be another handoff to Issett, who's going to cut outside, and he's going to get a gain of a few as he approaches the first down marker.
I mean, what a luxury it is for Horizon to lose a guy and be like, you know what, let's give him some rest. Let's throw Issett out there. Let's throw to our second guy and still get great production from him nonetheless.
I have really admired Johnny Issett's production the past few weeks. He was really splitting reps throughout the game in week 1 against Canyon View. Didn't really see him until garbage time last week, despite having a few carries here and there in the early parts of the game, but he's really starting to trickle out, and he's only I want to say he's only a junior as I check my notes. Yes, he is a junior, so definitely a very asset to have going into future seasons here.
Oh yeah, super promising, right? I mean, you have that extra year of high school to be able to make a name for yourself.
Most definitely. And speaking of who, Issett is going to roar through across the 20-yard line for another big gain there for the Huskies, as they're yet again knocking on the door of yet another score in this 37-14 ball game with 5:30 left in the game.
You better hope that the Cougars built this house in brick because the Huskies are looking to blow this house down.
Most definitely. Foot still on the gas as they're going to line up for another wham play possibly. Hand off to Issett up the middle, and he's going to roar in for a gain of about 5 on that play. Again, he's really picking up some production here on the run game late in this game.
I mean, such smart football here from the Horizon Huskies and Coach Tyson Ditmore, just really knowing that, well, hey, look, this team can't stop our run game. And we got time on our side. We have the score on our side. Let's just end this one in a pretty way.
Most definitely, as Zamorano is going to trot back out there. And we're under 5 minutes left in this game as he's going to take the handoff, but be immediately met by a Kellis defender, and he's going to create a scrum around the line of scrimmage, possibly getting a gain of about 1 or 2.
I mean, that's just so interesting to see is that Zamorano was grabbed within seconds of that snap. However, took him like 6 seconds to still get down, creating the scrum.
Probably the hardest 1-yard gain you'll see in a while here as Jackson Murray is going to trot back out there at the tight end position. And it's going to be a jet motion. It's going to be a jet sweep. And he's going to cut outside, and it's going to be wide open. He's going to walk right in for the touchdown. Number 2, Adem Wagner, roaring in for the touchdown. And they are just piling it on here at Horizon, boosting the score to 43-14.
They just keep continuing the great old story punish the team that can't stop the run. Just time and time again, we see these Huskies trotting down the field and sprinting into the end zone.
Very nice design there as they have Adem Wagner finally get his touchdown as after he had his punt return taken away from him due to penalties, but they are lined up for the PAT attempt here as Palmer Podwika is going to have it up and good. And now we have a 44-14 score in favor of Horizon here with 4 minutes left in the ball game.
When you look at that touchdown, what does it mean? Just another 7 points further ahead, but also 3 straight games now reaching the 40-point mark for Horizon.
And that is the third game in a row exceeding 40 points to start off this season for Horizon with that Adem Wagner touchdown. Very, very testament to the efficiency of the offense. And even the special teams and defense giving them opportunities to create points for the offense. So very all-around team effort. Couple things that could be cleaned up, of course. There's always going to be something you could execute better, but very sound game from Horizon so far as they look to cap it off with 4 minutes to go.
Definitely. I mean, being up 30, no Curry is definitely a good feeling. And if I'm the Kellis Cougars, I'd want to walk off this field with some pride. Show a good offensive drive, get one more tutty on the board, and give yourself some more film to look onto instead of just getting beat by the run game.
We add on to that, maybe they want to leave in a hurry, maybe to cap off that rhyme there. As Podweek is getting ready to send this kick off. And it's going to be another big boot, very big theme for him. And it's going to be fielded inside the 5-yard line, coming out the far side. And he's going to cut up field, and he's going to have a little bit of open room as he crosses the 40-yard line before he is finally tackled out of bounds by number 6, Nathan Sr.
Just another great run from my man. I love saying his name just because when I did research on him, David, but the stat really stood out. David Bedoya and his 17.2 yards per game from the kickoff return, which he far than exceeded tonight.
Definitely a very dynamic part of the game that you could use to your advantage for sure. Always want to give your offense advantageous spots on the field. As look at here, they're approaching the 45-yard line. They're placed at the 43 for this offense to take the field. It looks like we're going to stick with Sean Oser in at quarterback, and he's going to hand it off here. I'm sorry, he's going to keep it himself, but he is met right up in the A gap by number 22. That's going to be Gage Lee, the middle linebacker. Very hard hit, met at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's looking like these Horizon Huskies are a group of men, and they're just playing a little bit of a lower competition. I mean, they are physically imposing right now, and it's showing very clearly.
Most definitely took that second quarter performance to maybe a little bit personal in the words of Deion Sanders, but they came in and dominated in the second half, not allowing a single point, and this offense is rendered pretty much non-existent in this second half as Oster's going to take the handoff, and he is going to hand it off to his running back actually on that play, and he is going to be brought down by number 4, Bo Caliendo.
Yeah, I mean, like you just said previously, the offense has hit a standstill, and the Cougars aren't really able to get anything going, and it's time to get off in a hurry.
And that is going to be a 3rd and 9 now for this Kellis offense. And gotta wonder, maybe another run play here as we approach 2:30 left in the game for the Cougars. As Oster is going to line up again, trips over top, one receiver underneath. He's going to have a back right next to him. 3-man front here by Horizon, bringing pressure. Caliendo is going to squeeze down the line, and it's going to be a handoff, but he is met by 3 defenders. Finally brought down initiated by number 0, Jackson Murray, but he is brought down by number 54, Parker Cobb, to bring up a 4th down. And it looks like they're going to bring out their punt unit here with 2 minutes left in the game.
Night. It's time to get put to bed. This game is just about over.
This took an ugly turn there for Kellis when the second half began. Horizon really never looked back ever since that field goal to cap off the first half. Wouldn't want to say ugly, but not a ideal second quarter for them, but they came back and they roared and responded in the second half as the punt is going to trickle past the 15-yard line and finally be touched at the 12-yard line, which is where this offense is going to take over.
And with the time ticking down, a buck 20 left, we had a little bit of a scuffle there between Horizon and a Cougar player. I mean, doesn't surprise me. You want to show some sort of pride when leaving the field, and when a guy bumps you and you're down 30, you got to say something back.
Definitely, and you see Jace Ashley on the sideline with his helmet off, meaning his night is most likely going to be done, meaning we could get quarterback Carter Puma in at quarterback here for Horizon taking over.
And finally, we didn't know if we were going to see him, but I think we are.
And I'm sorry, actually looks like we might be getting junior quarterback Mason Tower, number 19, as he's going to hand it off to his running back. And Johnny Issett is going to get a gain of about 1 on that play.
Yep, Issett just wasn't really able to get anything there and got taken down quick. Very nice defensive play from the Cougars. And maybe they're going to be able to stop them in their tracks and leave out with some sort of gold medal.
And it's going to be an outside run play, and it's going to be roaring, approaching the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up another third down as now we are under 1 minute left in this game. So the clock is most likely just going to be ran out here for us at Horizon High School as they have a 44-14 lead over the Kellis Cougars with 38 seconds and counting left in this game.
Chris, the question of the night, I need to know. Are you still going to get in and out?
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of In-N-Out. I'm on that train. I've never really liked In-N-Out like that.
Really?
Yeah, more of a Chick-fil-A guy, if you would ask me.
Okay.
As actually looks like, whoa, we might have the ball pop out here and a late touchdown for Kellis, and it's going to be called a touchdown. No review in high school, so that's going to stand. Late surge as time is going to almost run out, and the clock is almost going to strike 12, but they come back and have a late touchdown as Tyson Ditmore does not look too pleased on the sideline for Horizon. Very late hiccup on the Huskies end.
I mean, you have less than 20 seconds left and you give the other team that. Just kind of pathetic in my opinion. If I'm the coach, I completely agree with his reaction.
Most definitely. Definitely a ugly win here for Horizon with some ugly points in the game as we have 13 seconds left as we are awaiting the pending extra point, boosting the score to a possible 44-21. But, you know, you're up 44-14. You're just trying to run the clock out. The clock is literally almost out with 13 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And you have a fumble. Definitely going to hear about that in the post-game talk there in the locker room.
Just can't let it happen, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy to call it an ugly win when you're up 24, but it is. I mean, I think this Horizon team is a really special squad, and they did not play to that ability today.
And that extra point was going to be up and good, and now we have a score of 44-21 here at Horizon High School with 13 seconds left. But, you know, a hiccup like that this late in the game, inexcusable. I mean, you know, the guys who are out, you know, they're just trying to get some in-game reps in garbage time, but giving up a touchdown like that is definitely not the taste you want to leave in your mouth leaving the game.
I mean, you just don't want to give the other team that good feeling trotting off. Like, okay, we got something to look good on. You know, oh, we kept playing till the end. You don't want to give them that. You want to. A famous coach of mine once told me, when you cut off the snake's head, it's still alive. You got to bury the head, right?
Absolutely. Don't want to give away any consolation prize out here. You know.
Definitely not.
But Horizon is going to take the ball back with 13 seconds left. Gotta imagine they're just going to let the clock tick down.
Yeah.
As we're approaching the end of the game here with 13 seconds. A lot of things done well by Horizon tonight. A lot of blunders for sure. But you know, definitely a sound game. They have a big game against Pinnacle next week. I want to say I saw on their schedule.
Yes, sir.
Pinnacle. You know, they've produced some talent. Spencer Rattler, who's now in the NFL, coming from there. Definitely a very strong program here in this area. But definitely some things to look at as far as Horizon goes. And I gotta say, you know, just before as we get the last kickoff going, I gotta say I appreciate still seeing the traditional kickoff formation
Yes.
here out, as that's looking to get phased out as the NFL is adapting a new kickoff model.
How do you feel about that, by the way?
It's taking some getting used to for sure. I've been playing a lot of Madden to kind of get used to the side of it for sure, but
Yeah.
it's definitely to encourage more returns. But as we get a little onside kick, it's just gonna it's gonna lose a little bit of steam, but it's gonna be hopped on by the Horizon, and they're gonna take over just past the 25-yard line. But definitely appreciate seeing that old style kickoff, which looks to be getting phased out of the game.
It just seems right. It just looks right. It's like a fresh pair of shoes. That smell just looks right, smells right. Something about that kickoff format that just smiles. Makes you think of that black cowboy hat. Just like that's football.
Absolutely, you gotta appreciate the classics.
Yeah.
Always gotta love some things classic for sure. As looks like we're gonna possibly get a victory formation to cap off as we have 10 seconds left on the clock here at Horizon High School. That is exactly what we're gonna get as Jace Ashley is back out there to take the knee and possibly put the final pin of this game, which is exactly going to be the case as we have a score of 44-21. Horizon over Kellis. Another strong outing with some things to look at for Horizon, but other than that, very strong outing and a lot of positives coming out from this game for Horizon.
Most definitely, I think Horizon's got one of the best running games in this division, and they're going to be able to show that week in and week out. Some passing notes to take on. Ashley threw a few questionable looks, but he also threw some great throws like that one to Portridge right there for the touchdown. They're going to be very successful in weeks to come, and I think this Cougars team is very promising as well.
Absolutely, and very another great night here at Horizon High School. Definitely want to thank all of our crew here with the Varsity Sports Show, cameras, production. It is not a two-man job here at the Varsity Sports Show. Our field correspondent Julia Coyne has done a nice job tonight. Our production leader RJ Villacourt has done a nice job tonight, as well as our camera crew. Definitely a team effort here with us at the Varsity Sports Show, and we encourage you to listen to our Varsity post-game show coming up in a little bit here tonight, and listen to our two Varsity radio broadcasts tomorrow in Arizona and nationally on Sunday. Another great night here at Horizon High School with the final score of 44-21 in favor of Horizon. Another win, but a couple stains. Any final thoughts for you here, Quentin?
Nope. It's an honor to call football here in the state of Arizona. I love it. I love being here at the Varsity Sports Show. I love life. God bless.
Most definitely, as Horizon is going to group together, but got to wonder what the post-game address is going to be like as far as Tyson Ditmore. Like I said, a lot of positives, but a lot of things to clean up for sure. Very nice outing as Horizon goes into another big game against Pinnacle next week. Pinnacle's a very strong program. Horizon is looking very good to start off this 2024 season. A lot of things to look forward to as far as these Huskies go, for sure.
Yeah, man, it's been a great one here tonight. It's been an honor sitting beside you, Chris. And yeah, the Huskies have something to smile on tonight. Cougars gonna go home a little bit with some sorrow, but I'm gonna go to In-N-Out. You might go to Chick-fil-A.
I can't get behind In-N-Out, man. I just can't.
Can I hear why?
Just a tad overrated, I mean,
Okay.
That's all I can put it. I mean, I've fought on that hill for so long, but regardless, another great night here at Horizon. But as you see the score there, 44-21. But gotta wonder what Coach Ditmore is saying to his team there as we're rounding it out here with the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Christopher Zavios alongside with Quentin Presley, and on behalf of all of our crew and camera and production here, have a good night, y'all. And don't forget to tune into the Varsity Sports Show content tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. We'll see you next week.